And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What is defined by greatness, where only the victorious may be remembered? For the first time ever in this company's 5-year history, we go to a city absolutely rich in honoring professional wrestling as AEW looks to create a dynasty. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Simply Predicting the AEW side of things. You know what this is, for I am the simple man, the simple brand, the voice of JM, forever grateful for professional wrestling. Damn it. And my name is Noah Foster. With me, as always, my illustrious friends and fellow analysts and my commentary cohorts, also to a degree when you see who's on this screen. I, of course, have the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, my color analyst in all things practically non-WWE, James Hebert, and once again, back for an all-elite Simply Predicting video, longtime rival and friend of fellow prediction horseman Jeff Chadwick. What's up, brother? Justin, gentlemen, good to see all of you, and good to see everybody out there in the chat who's watching this live, and also, again, who watched this on demand. Thank you, as always. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. And if you want to dictate the conversation, donate to Dictate Casting Studios. I'm not monetized, but I'm happy to support a friend. So super chat if you want to dictate. It's as simple as that. And also, as I do these live during other things, because I don't have Fox, please remain hashtag spoiler free for all other viewing content among those not only here that might want to watch it later, but those that also might be in the chat that will watch it also later to a degree. That being said, let's go around and get everybody's initial thoughts. JJ, good to see you once again. Good God almighty, we're in for a loaded weekend, considering this is after tomorrow night we cover TNA Rebellion. Go check out that City Predicting video, folks, until I have a safe, wonderful time. JJ, how you feel about AEW Dynasty, and how you feeling overall, my friend?
I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to the show for the most part. You know, go ahead and address the elephant in the room. There's definitely a match or two that could take or leave on the card. Everybody feels that way. Y'all know what we're talking about. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
But there's also quite a few things that I'm really looking forward to. Things that can definitely improve and reshape the direction of All Elite Wrestling, and I'm curious to see if they will follow that yellow brick road or if they're going to take a detour.
Yeah, make a left turn at Albuquerque. There's a Warner Brothers reference for you, Bugs Bunny. Speaking of which, what's up, Doc? Shout out to, of course, the Dot That Rocks also, Brad Campbell. Take care, my friend. That being said, a man that also rocks, and you can go check it out in the last Open Mic Night Karaoke Night special, where he definitely enjoys some kill switch, among other things. And he's also very creative. And please follow his work at the continued documentary that we always play on Open Mic Night, of course, for his family member. Appreciate you, man. Nothing but love and honor to you. And James, good to see us again. Here we are about to cover another pay-per-view, the second pay-per-view of 2024 for AEW. How you feel about Dynasty, brother?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, when it comes to TK pay-per-views, if nothing else, you know the man don't miss when it comes to pay-per-views. So that's usually a good sign. I mean, when all of your pay-per-views have been great and only 2 of them in your, how many year history? And this is including both companies. Like,
right.
When you only have 2 that have been stinkers, you know you have a pretty damn good batting average. So, I mean, they don't usually miss. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I think the 3 matches I'm probably looking forward to the most are I'd have to Hook versus Jericho just for the sheer craziness of it all and how everything is looking when it comes to Hook's situation there. And then obviously Ospreay Danielson and Swerve Joe. So there you go. Those
Fair
are the
enough.
obvious ones.
Well, yeah, and again, it's always one of those things we talk about AEW, quantity versus quality, but at the end of the day, we're never complaining, it seems, after watching a pay-per-view for All Elite Wrestling. So that has to count for something where it talks about you getting your dollar's worth. That being said, as we got more platforms and flexibility, got more friends than the last time I can remember for AEW Revolution, and it's good to once again see Justin. Justin, good to see you. Welcome back to City Predicting AEW, of course. And how you feeling about Dynasty?
I think I remember last time I came on here, I said there are matches I'm looking forward to, there are matches I'm not looking forward to. Noah, it's one of those nights again.
Yeah. That's fair, considering how massive this card is. Oh, Lord, the things that we endure as professional wrestling fans. And even Walter, go check out Rage of Wrestling, folks. Check out the work that he and James did, of course, covering Bloodsport. And, of course, they'll cover USD content, I'm sure, in the near future outside GCW, out anything, if the people want it. Got to get the people what they want. Even Walter echoes that. Again, it's pretty much a 95% hit rate when it comes to what we get out of an AEW pay-per-view versus the 5% that are like, what the... Watch the timer. So
I'll agree with that. I'd agree with that. You know, to your point, to James's point, AEW generally doesn't miss once the bell rings for the opening contest on a pay-per-view event. Regardless of what you think about the competitors, regardless of what you think about the matches and the placement of matches, bell to bell, they usually don't miss.
Yep.
You can't say that about any other federation that's ran pay-per-views.
Yep.
You know, for an almost 5-year company, as you guys said, for there to be 2 clunkers, that's a pretty damn good track record.
Yep.
Exactly. And again, good with the bad, right? And that's what we do here, of course. Watching, engaging, reacting, discussing, all the wrestling, 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 all the professional wrestling. Damn it! And it's truly
no more sports entertainment.
You're damn freaking right. Almost said the wrong word. As again, we got all this for AEW. We got this coming up for WWE. And of course, we have this right now known for TNA. As again, this weekend is a double feature. So I think with that being said, without further ado, as I show this real quick, because this is event 2 in the All Elite League, Tyler, nicely done. Let's see how everybody does here. And Galaxy, I have your scores as well. But again, there's like 5 pages. I'm going to do so much. So that being said, gents, ladies who watch virtually, professional wrestling fans and friends, without further ado, let's get right into it. So again, this is AEW. Yeah.
I just want to say really quickly, because I saw him pop in the chat room, happy birthday, Big G.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, happy birthday, big baller. I hope that you're doing well and have a wonderful birthday, man. And
looking forward to seeing you on open mic night tomorrow if you're still down.
Yeah. And of course,
supposed to have him and the Cleaver tomorrow, assuming nothing changes. So
cards be a good change, like predictions.
That's gonna be a hell of a show, I think, with those two on.
Oh yeah, they both bring something special to the table. Speaking of bringing something special, before I even say my thing again, we got a $5 super chat here from Rage of Wrestling. Nor should they in a world that is stream dominant. They better deliver on $50 pay-per-views. That's all I'm saying. Like I said,
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. You know, WWE has been able to get away with that here since the advent of the network. You know, $9.99 a month. If half the show sucks, you still got your $10 worth.
Which is funny.
You know what I mean?
Which is funny because, you know, you can't say that about this year's WrestleMania. I would have gladly paid $50 for that 2-night event.
For real.
Seriously. Best top to bottom Mania I've seen since 19.
Granted, I'm so I can't afford the OR to be poor, but I would have gladly paid $50 per night for that show.
Yeah. It was that good, guys. Like, go out of your way to watch it if you haven't.
For real.
But we're not talking about Mania. Get us back on track, Noah.
All right, guys. So once again, thank you, Walter, for that. Happy birthday to Jeff, and shout out to Christopher Rotz, who is there at SmackDown Live tonight. I hope he has a great time. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Again, folks, this is AEW's second pay-per-view for 2024. You already saw the schedule, and that's not counting the Ring of Honor shows that are unannounced. Here we are with Dynasty, emanating from St. Louis, Missouri, Sunday, April 21st. And you guys can, of course, order the pay-per-view on your local pay-per-view provider, finally. Not just Bleacher Report, including but not limited to Triller TV, local Dave & Buster's, internationally, of course, even in Australia, down under, on payperview.com, Sky, and select domestic markets on YouTube. And of course, we'll be coming here to the Jeopardy Multiverse of Media, where of course they have their zero and they stacked it with 3 matches. So I figure we'll probably go based on what the man makes official. I'm gonna guess 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or something like that, but we'll see. And again, the actual pay-per-view itself starts 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time across the AEW selected pay-per-view platforms. We're still, of course, deciding where we're going to buy it from. But again, we'll talk about that post-show. We got 12 matches, 3 on the 0 hour and 9 on the main card. The Madman did again. Damn it. Let's go ahead and breeze for the 0 hour, where I almost feel like these 2 matches are kind of a cause and effect, because in an escalating story in AEW, we are seeing the fallout in the end of the best friends. As Trent Beretta has done everything possible to make Orange Cassidy's life a living hell. At this point, it feels like he's been either betrayed or maybe he feels like that he's let him down. When Orange Cassidy's won the big one, Trent has failed to the entire 5 years he's been part of AEW. And while Orange Cassidy doesn't want to lose any more best friends, he, of course, has one in his corner in this match alongside the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata taking on Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor and, of course, Lee Moriarty. We'll go ahead and start with this one, and I'm just going to briefly say this. After Matt Sydal ate a chair in the face after trying to come to the end of Orange Cassidy, after Orange Cassidy bared the blunt of Shane Taylor's punishment and found a way to win, to me, this feels like one of those matches where Trent not necessarily is looking for a win, but is looking to send a statement to Orange Cassidy. And at this point, I feel like just out of the story itself, Trent kind of has to win here. Don't y'all think? JD, yeah. I'll start with you if you want to talk a little bit more about this. And then if someone else has an argument, we'll go around the horn as we do. JD, what's your thoughts on this singles grudge match and Trent trying to find himself?
I think everyone is going to be in agreement here. And I echo exactly what Walter said in the chat. Trent just went heel. He needs the victory to cement his new character. He needs the momentum. The only way Matt Sydal is winning this is if Trent Beretta gets disqualified.
Or
if
injured,
he snaps and goes that crazy that he gets DQ'd.
Or injured, God forbid. Hopefully that
let's not throw that into the ether there, James.
I'm saying there's a slim chance is the idea of it.
But then if he gets injured, then everyone's gonna pinpoint you and be like, it was all James's fault. He cursed him.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Throw that out there.
Hey, I've been the pariah of blame before. It's fine.
That's fair. But I think everybody in the room, everybody in the chat watching, everybody that watches on demand is going to go with Trent Beretta for this one.
Yeah.
I love Matt Sydal, but Beretta needs this.
Yeah, I think there's really no argument against that. And again, the huge rarity also of All Elite Wrestling, they've had maybe like less than 10 disqualifications in their entire history. So it's one of those things where I almost wonder if Trent's going to win a strong 0 or send a message to Orange Cassidy, maybe using his own orange punch, adding further insult to injury. Shout out, by the way, the 29ers, put your predictions in and out of the predicting community, No DQ Galaxy, and Team No DQ, including not limited to Dwayne Atkinson, Big Space, Corey, our friend SC, of course, shout out to ATW family, Lex, The Rocket, David Diaz, Charlene, Matthew Holitzer. Welcome, by the way, to Team No DQ. And among others, Alistair, Mark. It's not quite unanimous, but the majority are going with Trent Beretta here. It looks like 83% for 17. And again, Matt Sydal, he's a Ring of Honor LG. And it wouldn't surprise me if Christopher Daniels will be in his corner, since both Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal were on the blunt end of Trent's little punishment. So, yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say here we're all with Trent. Agree?
I think what people really want to know is, what does Sue think about all this?
Yeah, you got to get Sue involved at some point.
Yeah.
I feel like, anyway.
We also haven't heard anything from Chris Statlander since Trent whispered something into her ear. And right now, again, Trent's the only person that has not given us an explanation.
Yeah, Can we talk about that for a minute? What the hell is with AEW and doing this whisper kick all of a sudden? Like, oh yeah, let's whisper in the ear, and then you can't hear it, so you just have to get like, okay. I like my mysteries for Scooby Doo. I don't want to have my mysteries on the television when it's clear as day. You're just be out in the open. It's wrestling. Who cares?
And Trent would have got away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those meddling best friends.
Well, Trent used to give the people what they want. Now he's going to give Orange Cassidy what he doesn't want. We'll see what happens.
I think it's about time Trent actually focused on himself, so he should give himself what he wants. So I'm going with Trent.
And I think that's the entire initiative here. Justin, anything further to add? Didn't think so. All right. Well, that was simple enough. Well, again, looking at one side of this story, let's look at the other side of this story. As Orange Cassidy tags alongside Katsuyori Shibata to take on Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, but again, I would not count out the governor coming into play here, especially with that vicious right hook that debilitated Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy has already beaten Shane Taylor. Katsuyori Shibata has already beaten Lee Moriarty. It just feels like one of those things right now where Shane Taylor Promotions, they're still finding their footing underneath the AEW ecosystem. But again, going along with the main story here, you kind of got to give it to Orange Cassidy and Katsuyori Shibata, I think, at this point, despite if Trent and Matt Sydal have it before or after this. I'm going with the wrestler and freshly squeezed. Agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, again, it just feels like, again, you just look at the 0 hour and it's the continuation of a escalating story, which is nice to see, but it's just one of those things where it's like, you kind of know what's happening. What's up, James?
I feel like what should be said, because I think we're all in unanimous agreement with how the match is going to play out. I really feel like Anthony Ogogo should have been in Shane Taylor's spot, and Shane Taylor should have been, like, at ringside. And I only say that because I'm always going to advocate for my boy Ogogo. Like, I've been his biggest fan when he had that match with Cody. And again, I was his biggest fan when he ended up having a great showing during the build-up to Death Before Dishonor, right? So, or I'm sorry, Death Before Dishonor, listen to me. The Supercard of Honor.
Supercard of Honor,
so many honors. So much the honor, dishonor, all that.
All the honor.
And somehow there's no honor right now on this upcoming schedule of all the wrestling. Scheduled yet. Next Death Before Dishonor yet to be determined. Anyway, continue.
No, it's just I don't understand. You have the guy on your roster. You just put him in Shane Taylor Promotions. Why not use the guy?
No, I agree.
You don't need to
think
have
Moriarty and the Go-Go should be the tag team, and Shane Taylor should be the singles.
Right? Because like Shane Taylor is the singles guy, and a Go-Go would complement Moriarty's style beautifully. And I don't understand why we're not tapping into that when you literally just added him, and he's shown in every match he's been in that the dude, number one's a quick learner. Number two, for a guy who's green in this industry, he's got the fundamentals down pat, very similar to Logan Paul. Use him. He's an Olympic bronze medalist in boxing. And you're not going to use that credential. You're not going to use, like, how are we just completely letting this fly over our head?
I can tell you why.
Well,
it's Tony Khan booking.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
and for ways to help Tony Khan booking, go back to the archives and look at Inside the Mind of the Renegade, episode 3.
That's fair.
Keep plugging. Also accurate.
You have my cat upset.
Like,
see, Tony, you have my cat upset because now he's meowing and he agrees with me. You want to meow? You want to say hi to the people? Yeah.
Well,
gotta give the people what they want.
Got to get the people what they want.
In fact, and now that you mentioned that, no, now he runs away. Come the fuck over here.
Anyway, while James tries and get his cat, what
are you doing?
Fame.
I'll be right.
Justin, anything further to add regarding this tag match?
Yeah, can we bring back up that comment about should the 0 hour really get you into the pay-per-view? Yeah, sure. That one. Why have tag matches on 0 hour?
Why not? I have any match on Zero Hour.
I'm not against it, but I don't know. Like shouldn't the 0 Hour make people want to buy the pay-per-view? I mean, I know people's going to buy the pay-per-view regardless because. Well, I know people are going to buy the pay-per-view regardless of what the 0 Hour is, mainly because of the main event. But I'm just trying to get the point of that he was trying to say in the chat. But other than that, I agree with all three of you on who wins. So no further argument there. Just wanted to get my point through.
I respect that.
That's what all the critics are always saying. You got to get, if you're going to do a 0 Hour, which is free on YouTube, to get people to buy the pay-per-view, you've got to appeal to the casual fan.
Exactly.
If you ask 100 random wrestling fans who the hell Shane Taylor is, they're not going to have any idea. They're not going to know who Shibata is unless they're diehard junkies. You've got to put people on the pre-show that are going to attract people.
Exactly.
Honestly,
and I feel that's where the next match we're going to talk about really comes into play, and they may be doing that. But with this much on the line, I would swap trios matches. I would put the House of Black versus Copeland, Briscoe, and Kingston on the pre-show.
Yeah.
And put this match for the two trios titles on the main card.
Yeah.
We're talking about winner takes all the belts.
Yep.
The only person in this image that a casual fan's going to know is Daddy Ass.
And even then.
But the other match, you've got the House of Black, you've got Adam Copeland, you've got 4 people that casual fans should know because everybody in the House of Black pretty much transplanted from WWE. Copeland came from WWE.
Mm-hmm.
The only ones who didn't really touch it are Kingston and Briscoe. The Briscoes have been around for fucking 20-something years.
Ring of Honor.
Casual fans know the Briscoes, whether it's for good reasons or bad reasons. They at least know the name the Briscoes.
Yep.
Even if they just think that they're the sons of Jerry or Jack, which they're not, and they make that correlation because of the name Briscoe Brothers.
They'll be intrigued enough if you put that match on there.
True that. Make it relatable, even if it's not logical. I get what he's saying, and it goes back to what me and him talked about in our, I think it was post-rebellion conversation / pre-production chat here when we aid in Synergy. It's one of those things also where on a show that I compare to the likes of Night of Champions, Clash of Champions, every AEW-eccentric championship is on this card and on the line, except for in that trios match that you're referring to. That's building towards a TNT championship match. And again, we're talking about 2 sets of titles here that kind of need to become one when you think about a dwindling trios division. Oh, and by the way, most people are also going with Orange Cassidy and Katsuri Shibata, just so people are aware and want to be influenced. And as far as this here, listen to what this man has said already. And that being said, JJ, who do you think deserves to hold all the gold? You've been a huge fan of Bullet Club Gold, but everybody loves the Acclaim. Is it more so about who reaches out to the people more, or who you think is going to do more with these titles in the ring? What do you think?
This is one of the few matches on the card where I am completely torn because I like the Acclaimed. Max Caster cracks me up. Anthony Bowens has an energy that is completely unmatched.
Right?
Billy Gunn is Billy Gunn, and the fact that he's still doing shit that he did in the mid-90s at 50-something years old astounds me.
Minus doing the one and only on his knees anymore.
Okay, but even still,
he
only started doing that because he was trying to get away from the ass gimmick for a minute.
You can't blame him. Who wants to be known as Mr. Ass their whole life?
No, I'm not talking about the fame ass. I'm talking about the.
No, I know what you're talking about, but I'm saying the only reason he started being the one Billy Gunn and started doing the one and only is because he wanted to get away from the fame ass gimmick.
It was a good finish, to be fair.
Yeah.
But so you've got that side of things, and the fact that the Acclaimed lost the tag titles to the Gun Club when they were AEW Tag Team Champions.
Throwback.
Will history repeat itself here? Then you got the Gun Club, the Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Gang. Jay White deserves some fucking singles gold.
Thank you.
I don't care if it's Ring of Honor. I don't care if it's AEW. That man is a star, and he's been lumped into this bullshit variation of the Bullet Club.
Still better than
Don't get
War
me
Dog.
wrong. I like the Guns. Austin and Colton remind me so much of the Smoking Guns in the 90s. But I don't see longevity in the Guns. Truth be told, I don't see longevity in the Acclaimed. I think both of them are limited in their shtick as a tandem. The question becomes, what can you draw the most money with? And I think you need to have the Acclaimed take this one with Daddy Ass. Do we know the status of Rock Hard Juice Robinson?
No, there's been no update.
Is he ready to come back yet? Could he cost Bullet Club Gold this match to try to smack some sense into Jay White?
Or could he help them and rip Juice Board out of Bullet Club, knowing that this
No.
is one-
I want to see him take Juice Board and smack Jay White upside the face with it. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, I think it goes back to also what Darby Allin was trying to remind Jay White exactly who you were. You were once the catalyst. You were once the guy that sold out Madison Square Garden. You made an event to the Tokyo Dome, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the last
And
time
I
Jay White got
think-
serious, he injured Darby Allin and has things back, decked in gold.
And I think we're starting to get to that with the way that he turned on Billy Gunn. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang was dead before it could really get rolling, much to my dismay, because I enjoyed the six of them as a unit. I thought the Bang Bang Scissor Gang was going to give us some of the best comedy since freaking the DX Army.
Right.
But it just wasn't meant to be.
No.
I'm going with the Acclaimed, though. I feel like once the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass lose these titles, Billy is probably done. He already was supposed to retire once and then freaking came back.
Yep.
So I think once this run is done, he is done. And I just want to see it last a little bit longer. Justin looks like he really wants to say something. He's got his hand up.
Hey, he might agree or disagree with you, so go for it. A very strong dissertation, by the way. And again, for 0 Hour, this is one of those matches that truly could change each of these trios as we know it. What's up, Justin?
Oh, JJ. Oh man. As much as I respect your opinion on everything, I gotta respectfully disagree.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I love the Acclaim. I love what they're doing.
But
They've done absolutely nothing with those trios titles. Absolutely nothing. And the Bullet Club Gold has done absolutely nothing with those titles either.
right.
So here's my thinking. Bullet Club wins on Sunday, but they're gonna lose it probably to a trio that can do something with those titles. So, do I want to see Daddy Ass retire soon? No, but I'm just saying I disagree with that.
I hear you, but don't you feel like the Gun Club, the Ass Boys, are bringing Jay White down?
And that's the key.
So why
thing
would
here.
you give them the belt? That's what I keep coming back to. Is I feel like the Guns are bringing Jay White down.
Just figured.
One-
Just figured. It's really interesting figure when you think about it too. Some people are saying Jay White's having fun. Okay, is he to a degree? I mean, this is the guy that was challenging for the AEW World Championship last year at Full Gear with every hook, line, secret trick possible, and lost. I'm just saying. James,
to Justin's thing about winning the titles and then losing them to someone else. I don't even want to put this out into the ether, but I'm gonna do it anyways. With the way that they've been pushing themselves, I could totally see freaking the Bucks and Okada taking the trios titles off of the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass.
No, don't do that.
Whether they win their ladder match or they lose their ladder match, then they've got 2 sets of tag gold, and Okada's got 2 belts.
All I'm saying is, none of these teams in this match are doing anything with those titles. So I don't. So I, as much as I disagree with you, I honestly don't care who wins this match as long as somebody does something with those damn titles.
Yeah, I agree with that. And to add to your point, Justin, also, there is one reason why, and there's only one way to get Jay White out of this. Give him the win, and then when Jay White's ready, or when Juice Robinson's ready to return, because hopefully he's ready to be back soon.
You only hope.
Freebird it. That's how you get him out of it. That's the only freaking logical way out of this now. They have booked themselves into a corner with Jay that it is literally your only option now. So get the titles on the Bullet Club Gold. Freebird it back to Juice Robinson to really have that be the Bang Bang Gang, because that was the best trio out of that anyway. And then have Jay White go for the singles gold. And then you're, voila, problem solved, right?
Again, the leader leads by example, and the troops, they back up the leader, but they also, create their own legacy. And there's a reason why Jay White's Bullet Club is so predominantly strong across the entire professional wrestling industry, even when he was not IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Although they might have peaked at that when he won that title at Dontaku, but that's a whole different conversation. And that means
your other option is to just have them lose it and Jay White go nuclear. And then you get out of it that way too. Either way, whoever walks out of this with the belts, I don't think is walking out of Double or Nothing with the belts.
That I do agree with. And I'm going to go on the record here. By the way, predictions are going to change, and I'm going to send you all the forms because this is great conversation. And I'm not writing anything. I like this. I'm going with, because of the fact that there also is a lingering storyline here, where the point you said they won't have a long title run, I think somebody's going to cost them. I think Darby Allin versus Jay White is going to be set up for Double or Nothing after Bullet Club Gold loses the trios titles. I'm going with Bullet Club Gold here. Again, the Acclaim, they had the moment. They had, the scissor titles that I'm sure sell like hotcakes, although they're probably ridiculously priced. And Daddy has got that one last run in. So good for him. But I don't think the Acclaim as a tag team need to be trios champions anymore. Ever since the moment at All In, the trios titles have kind of fallen to the wayside before they got involved in the shenanigans of Bullet Club Gold.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
So
I forgot. Oh,
it's
whatever.
all right, brother. You know what? Add a little humor when we get to some particular matches here. But I'm going with guns up. I'm going with Bullet Club Gold, whether Juice Robinson's involved or not. And ironically enough, 80% are going with Bullet Club Gold. They think that the Bang Bang Gang's going to own both the Ring of Honor and the AEW Championships. Plus, Jay White, he has Ring of Honor experience, so he has that Ring of Honor name behind him. So even if it doesn't mean that you see these titles predominantly, whether they're merged or they hold each 2 titles, like one on each shoulder, it just feels like to me that you get a little more traction in what's still ahead for at least Switchblade Jay White, with Jay White having the Trios Championship ships. So I'm going to say Bullet Club Gold for the win. So again, very polarizing, suggestive conversation on both sides. And again, the Acclaim, let's get them back in the tag team picture where you have all these young, hungry tag teams like Top Flight, like Private Party, and let's really see what we can do to restore the feeling of the tag team division. So that's my take. All right. Well, that being said, believe it or not, that was the 0 hour. Ready to get into the actual stuff here? This should be fun.
Still got 9 matches.
Well, again, this is what happens when you have professional wrestling fans with a passion and a different conversation. And again, this is what we do. It's what Sleepy Dickies become. And unlike Tony Khan, where he goes 3 hours, 3 minutes, and 30 seconds, I try and strive for 2 hours, optimally 2.5 hours, knowing if the chat and you guys dictate it quite more out there in the ether. But I don't think a lot's going to be said about this, despite the fact I know a couple of you are interested in it. Let's go ahead and run this back. The FTW Championship, yes, the FTW Championship, a title not sanctioned by AEW, is on the line on the main card. Yes, I will say that again. FTW Championship. Look, the son of Taz goes one-on-one once again against Lionheart Chris Jericho. Now, the thing about this, of course, stems from the 8-man scramble where Chris Jericho and Hook, of course, collided for the first time, and Hook basically told Chris Jericho exactly who he was, reminded him of Taz, very first match, ECW a long time ago. Taz, of course, who's now retired because of debilitating pile drivers, and apparently has a bad knee. Jeez. And, of course, we saw the continuation in respect after Hook suplexed Jericho for every province of Canada and got the win on Dynamite when Chris Jericho's been channeling Lionheart to the point now that Jericho wants to be a mentor, a teacher, put Hook underneath his learning tree. Hello, character reinvention number 605. I've lost count in Chris Jericho's career. And of course, this really came ahead, though, after the fall in that trios match and that little bit of a meeting there where Jericho basically was talking about how Hook has so much potential, but he hasn't had the right influences, including his father. And again, you push the line when you mess with family, even with somebody that demonstrates the FTW attitude. So here we are. The fact of the matter is this is their second one-on-one encounter. Hook won the first time. But it's FTW Championship. Call it what you will. Title as an accessory. Attitude in play. Learning tree. Learn by example. Learn for discipline. It feels like to me this is not the end of Chris Jericho. Lionheart versus Hook. It just feels like a continued escalation. So that being said, James, you're wearing orange. We're going to start with you. What's your thoughts on this match?
What do you mean I'm wearing orange? I ain't wearing.
You're wearing an orange hat. You're wearing an orange.
Wearing a red hat. What do you mean?
Is that red? That looks like orange to me.
It's red.
Oh, well, your filter made it look orange. Now, there it goes. It got darker. All right, there we go.
Okay.
Anyway, that being said, you probably, again, will be filled with red rage at some point during the show as Hook's already against Lionheart. So what's your thoughts on this? And by the way, for those that don't know, he is very passionate when it comes to technical wrestling like me, especially if you saw our call during Matt Riddle versus Zack Sabre Jr., where I feel like I was kind of like color at that time. And I like challenging myself in that aspect. Curious to see what you bring here. So that being said, before we call it, give the technique and give your win. What you got?
Oh, man. I mean, this is hard because you've been hearing recent rumors, right? Rumors that Hook might be done with AEW or might be looking at other options. So if that's the case and Taz is still going to be with the company, do you have him keep the belt in AEW where he still is going to be employed? Or do you have your son go elsewhere with the FTW title, wherever that may be? That's really the issue with this is like, what do you do with this? Like, how do you even go about that situation? Now, because it's rumor, I'm not going to say it's 100% fact, even though that is something like that I'm going to stick with. That's not really going to influence my decision. But just for heat's sake, I'm going to go with Jericho. I think Jericho's getting the title. Because quite honestly, you can't get any more ECW original than Jericho winning the FTW championship. And, kind of going on a heel run with it. And you could do a whole bunch of things with Jericho. I can see it now. I'm the only man that's won an IWGP, WWE, WCW, and an ECW championship. I could see him go all that freaking route with it. AEW too. Like he'll be going on a field day with that. Like, it's the only title I haven't won, and now I've won this world title. I could just see him going nuts with it. And to me, what's going to sell more? Jericho's the heel. So Jericho's, I feel like, has to be cheap in a way to win this. But I think he takes it off of Hook. And I love me Hook. I don't want to go against my boy Hook, but I feel like, you talked about Jericho being the master of reinvention. I think we're about to see another version of Jericho drinking in, man, type of thing. So
he took the words out of my mouth. Remember what happened to Claudio Castagnoli at the Ring of Honor World Championship? This literally feels like that, but now it's the FTW Championship. They're accolade for Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has another storyline. He reinvented a new character gimmick now, the Learning Tree, when he was previously the Ocho, the Influencer, the Wizard, La Champion, the Demo God. Shall I continue? That being said, I agree with
Painkiller, the List.
The
what
lexicon,
other gimmick?
The lexicon, Ayatollah of rock and rolla.
The rock star,
come on, baby,
code breaker, hypocrite parasite era. Like, what? How many gimmicks do you want me to mention?
You're naming more gimmicks than his freaking lexicon had when it came to people he didn't want to face. So let's not go down that road.
That's actually the list of Jericho. It's just the list of all of his fucking gimmicks that he's ever had.
Oh God,
that's right.
So it's longer than the amount of submissions he knows. Armbar.
Man of 1,005 gimmicks.
Yeah,
exactly.
That should be his next gimmick. That will be the next one we go to.
Let's not give Jericho ideas. He's 50 plus years, 32 years in the game. All right. I think he's done enough, but here we go again. Another.
I think he's done enough.
52 years. Just the amount of gimmicks he has equals his age.
Damn. So that being said, we got 2 for the Learning Tree. Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
JJ and Dustin, do either of you disagree?
No.
Wow, that's actually unanimous. I thought I was having a hot take with that.
No, I totally see the same thing. The thing that makes me feel that way is the fact that Hook's contract is looming.
Yeah.
Dang.
If you believe the reports that come from certain internet wrestling journalists, once Hook's contract is up, he's going to explore free agency. Even his old man is telling him to see what WWE will offer him.
Yeah, I mean, business.
So it's like, and as far as the FTW title, the title is going to stay where Taz stays because that was his original commissioned title.
Exactly.
Hook's not going to take it with him to other promotions. The FTW title will stay wherever Taz is.
Yeah.
Taz brought that title out on ECW TV because Shane Douglas was ducking him. He commissioned a brand new one. He gave it to Brian Cage in AEW. It's the Taz Championship.
Yeah.
So as long as Taz is still in the company, the FTW title can still float around, whether it's on Jericho or whoever.
Yep. And it's not the first time that Hook has lost the title. As we know, the last time he lost it, he gained it back. But this time, if Jericho wins it as a Learning Tree, he's already made it very personal. There's your story. Hook gets the title back from Chris Jericho. And who knows? Maybe Taz gets involved and tries to put a sleeper on the Learning Tree and cut his branches off as a nice way to close the bubble on this, especially since we know they are going to New York later this year. So, yeah.
Here's a little fun fact for you.
What?
24 years to the day, Chris Jericho and Taz have been in the ring. And now 24 years later, he's going to be in the ring with his son. There's a little stat for you.
I'm sure they'll mention that on TV. That's the type of thing that Shivani would drop the knowledge on.
Yeah, because
I always appreciate.
Yeah, he was the last time they were actually, I think it was a triple threat match, and it was for the Intercontinental title, and either Benoit. No, it was Benoit that was involved in that.
Yeah, it was Benoit.
And it was a Monday Night Raw of all things.
Well, we all know what the Intercontinental Championship was back then as well, and what Goofer has also made it 15 years later. That being said, oh, that's interesting. Despite the fact we're all saying Hook, or excuse me, Jericho, we're in the minority. A majority of people are actually going with Hook here, 80%. But I just think that right now this is not a one-off. And to the point in the chat, if Hook doesn't have this with Jericho, what do they do with Hook right now?
Yeah, really. I mean, that's the other issue too.
Suspension disbelief up in the air whether he stays in AEW for a longer term or not. I'm just saying. So this sounds like one of those things where they're going to play it out a little longer, and the learning tree will learn something from Hook the hard way. Just not at Dynasty. You got to go with the Lionheart here, the learning tree. All right. Well, that was a simple conversation. First match we were unanimous on. Hey, who knows? Maybe there's something else that could happen. That being said, why don't we go ahead and continue with championship accolades? So let's see. James started with that one. So, Johnson! You're going to start off with the AEW International Championship.
I
as
get the
Roderick Strong goes one-on-one against his former undisputed friend in the Violent Artist, Kyle O'Reilly. Of course, Kyle O'Reilly came back after a debilitating surgery. Of course, also had a couple of seizures. God, this guy had a rougher road than Katsura Shibata. No wonder Katsura Shibata respects this man. And he's had this second chance to the point that Roderick Strong, he welcomed the fact that his friend's back, as long as he didn't pay attention to his championship. And of course, Roderick Strong, he won this at Revolution against Orange Cassidy with more backbreakers than I can count. And of course, he's already had one successful defense and one eliminator match. Take that for what you will. And after Kyle O'Reilly basically showed respect towards Rocky Romero, Roderick Strong can clearly tell that he didn't care about him. He cared about this title. Didn't have to be this way. So here we go. It's personal. And if you've watched Ring of Honor, you know how far these two are willing to go when they face each other versus tagging alongside each other. The key thing here is, of course, the Undisputed Kingdom will likely be in the corner. And if nothing else, the devil has to create that warlord you are to protect all the gold within the kingdom. So that being said, thy kingdoms will carry it out, or does Kyle O'Reilly give us a surprising upset less than 3 months? Justin, what's your prediction on this?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Undisputed Kingdoms, Roderick Strong does not lose on Sunday.
No, I agree.
That's just my whole take on it. This is actually one of the matches I'm not looking forward to, so I'll just leave it at that.
I think in context, that's fair because, again, I think about how far both these men can actually go, but the fact that this just seemed, what's the word I'm looking for? Starts with R. Rush. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel there's more that could have come from this. They just built it out a little longer. And no doubt they're going to have a rematch against each other. Let's just put it out there right now, all right? We're going to probably get some sort of internal tag feud and something else against Matt Taven and Mike Bennett in tow, or Wardlow if he decides to be a tag team cohort. That's going to eventually lead to Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong again contesting over this. I think it'd be a good story for Kyle O'Reilly to pursue this title and win it against his former friend, but I don't think it happens just yet. Way too soon. I agree with Justin. Is there any disagreements among the panel?
I don't, but I will say, while we're definitely not looking forward to it because the build has not been great.
It's fair.
What build has there been?
Exactly.
The Battle of the 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Continue.
I'll just say this. There is at least a positive of it's Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. It's so it would be damn near impossible for this not to be at least a sleeper match of the night where you have no expectations going in and then they just completely blow you out of the water with the performances. They did it in Ring of Honor. Lord knows we saw them do it in NXT.
Oh yeah.
They'll do it again. I mean, these two are consummate professionals and know how to get a crowd very excited for the littlest of things. So if you have nothing to be excited for in the build-up, just be excited with if you're a fan of them from NXT and how they were treated there, and also how they were treated in Ring of Honor, even when they weren't really having many feuds built. So there you go.
Well, Ring of Honor was not really necessarily about feuds. It was about honor, professional wrestling. And in a way, this feels like that to a degree. So, to your point, it's all about, some people look at story, but also in wrestling, you got to look at quality. These are two of the most quality competitors you're going to see grace the squared circle. And they're going one-on-one against each other. This is going to be special.
I think TK being on my screen right now is rather appropriate, by the way.
And JJ, I do agree with you on the build-up that they had in NXT and in ROH. I do agree with you on that. And I liked it when they had that build-up in NXT. But the fact that there is no build right now in AEW is kind of what's making me not want to say like anything else towards this match.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's that level of investment that the fan wants versus what the booker may expect. Just saying. But either way,
O'Reilly may be good for auto parts, but it's not going to walk away with the championship this Sunday.
That's fair. The day I see Kyle O'Reilly in a freaking O'Reilly auto parts commercial is the day I lose my shit.
Dude, if Tony Khan was smart, he would totally try to book that for the corporate synergy.
Damn you.
Get him sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Have that be a paid sponsor for AEW.
Thank you.
And then every city they go to, they could do an autograph signing at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I would go to an O'Reilly Auto Parts just to get an autograph.
You know what? I'll be honest. Even as a conservative, I probably would break and put my money towards that too, because I have nothing but respect for the Undisputed Era and Ring of Honor and the particular members that defined it too. All right. Well, that's
what I gave. I'll say that. I'll say it for that.
There's a word. I missed that theme. It hurts me. I'm not going to hear that on Sunday.
Can I make a request, Noah?
Yes.
Because I know we're getting ready to move on to the next match. Can we just get the one that we're already out of the way so that we can just look at happy things beyond
Yes, please. I agree.
I don't want to sit here just waiting for it. I know suspense, but can we just get that one out of the way, please?
You asked for it. The AEW World Tag Team Championship vacant. It is the Young Bucks versus FTR4, and this time it is a ladder match. Okay, people, here we fucking go. Now, I'm going to take a line from Jeff and use the proverbial phrasing here. Who would like to go first?
Justin is volunteering. If nobody had raised their hand, I was going to say, let me go ahead and do it. But Justin volunteered. He's been pretty quiet throughout this whole thing because me, you, and James have kind of dominated. So go ahead and let Justin do his thing.
Justin, the floor is yours. Take it away. What is the state and the future of the AEW World Tag Team Championship?
Wait a minute. James, can you still hear us? Give a thumbs up because we can barely see you nod. Okay. Because I see his headset off, so I just want to make sure he can still hear what we're saying. Go ahead, Justin.
That's perfectly fair. Oh, Lord. Go ahead, Justin. Oh, shit.
The stakes is FTR wins or some of us riots.
That's probably accurate.
No. The reason why I'm saying that is because last week on AEW, they posed something that should have never, ever been done. Like, they showed footage from All in London from 8 months ago when the second guy that did it to Jack Perry is not even in the damn company anymore. So, Noah, JJ, James, here's my question to you, because I'm picking FTR, but where did this footage why does this footage have to do with the storyline that we're getting for Sunday between the Young Bucks and FTR? I don't understand it.
It doesn't. There is absolutely nothing. I'm sorry, Noah, to step on you. There is
You're perfectly fine, brother.
nothing logistically where that footage ties into this match. They are trying their damnedest to make us believe that because of that backstage incident, the Jacksons' mind was not concentrated on the match, and hence that is why they lost to FTR at Wembley Stadium. That is how they are trying to tie it to a storyline. It is a cheap, pathetic, piece of shit way to do it from two jabronis that shouldn't even be the assistant manager of any retail establishment, let alone a manager. They should be lucky to get a team lead position.
Do you feel better? Would you like to talk about your feelings?
I don't know if there's going to be any more to come out of me there, Noah. and I'm sure I'll get a thumbs up if that was He-Man approved.
So yeah, case in point, that's just my whole that's just my one complaint about that, because there's no reason that footage should have been shown, because there's nothing to do with that storyline. But yeah, my final take on this: FTR wins. I don't want to see Young Bucks with the titles anymore.
Okay.
Right. So here's the thing. Buy the T-shirt. Let me talk to you, because I know James still has his back to us. But he can still hear us, correct? Okay. You're putting a thumb up, but you're blocking it with your head, bro.
You need to do. There we go.
Thank you.
All right. Continue, Dave.
Here's the thing. We all know this is going to lead to the Bucks winning. Whether we like it or we don't like it, and most of us don't, it's going to lead to the Bucks winning. That way the Bucks have the tag gold, and Okada's got the Continental Gold. If the Jacksons, and they should be thankful I'm referring to them as that and not calling them the Massey brothers, which is their legitimate legal last name.
Yes.
But if the Jacksons want to try to get some favor back from the people who they lost after airing that footage, they will give the belts to FTR. However, we know that they are selfish. We know they are conceited. We know they are arrogant. We know that they do not think of the better of the company. They only think about the better of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. And that's unfortunately why, and you can mark it down officially, Noah, as much as I hate to say it, the Bucks are walking out with the titles. And that's why I feel like come Double or Nothing, they're getting those trios titles. And all three of them will be double golded up, just to make them even more insufferable than they already fucking are. You heard it first. 4:19, 5:59 p.m. on the West Coast, so 8:59 on the East Coast. Come Double or Nothing, those three are going to have 2 belts apiece.
Well then. Okay. Before I give my sole thoughts, apologies. International Championship, by the way, 72% are going with Roderick Strong retaining against Kyle O'Reilly. This match, 38% pick FTR. The majority is in favor of the Young Bucks, out of just context. And there are a couple other things to think about here as I look at the chat with King Mike, Walter, Daniel, James, and their take. Also, before I give my thoughts, we got a $2 super chat here, and that's definitely something I'm thinking about here. Debut Morrissey Machine Guns after, then I'll be happy. For those that don't know, in a previous life, the Young Bucks were once called Generation B, and they were involved in a company you might know, brought back to life by its original letters, TNA. And of course, they had their little feud there. So, being the fact that we like to bring things full circle underneath this company when it comes to other wrestling history, Mercy Machine Guns versus the Young Bucks in 2024 is not too far fetched, despite the fact he'd rather see the Fashion Police while he's fandangoing. So, I have to say here that I agree with you solely because of that. Because again, it may be a story, it may be a match waiting to happen, but I think it leads to that no matter what. You gotta go with the Young Bucks here who get their win back. And funny enough, if they do get the win back, this is their, fourth encounter? I think that would mean at this point it is either 2-2 or 3-1. Now, if it's 2-2, you would think that would mean there had to be some ultimate and rubber. But again, that's longer thinking out there. But I'm going to simply say, out of mental context, not personal bias, even though I do have my thoughts too, you kind of got to go with the Young Bucks here. What's up, JJ?
The other thing that I got to bring up, because if I don't, I know James will.
If he chooses to speak.
We've also got to remember that somebody had their final New Japan appearance at Windy City Riot and could very easily help the Bucks win these titles.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Because if that video being played does not set up the return of Jack Perry to AEW again, whether we like it or don't, and I could care less if I see that curly-haired piece of shit again in my life, because the only reason he's got a fucking job is because his daddy was Dylan McKay.
Damn.
But if that video wasn't shown to announce and plant the seeds of his return, then Tony Khan really needs to be excommunicated from this company. That's the only thing that could save that video being played, is if Jack Perry comes in and helps the Bucks and becomes the Hangman Page, if you will, for this new elite. Because Okada's already taken Omega's place.
Right.
Someone's got to take the Hangman's place.
And for the inevitable, what people basically said might happen, the Golden Lovers uniting when Kenny Omega get well soon, by the way. Taz alongside Kota Ibushi, who's also getting well soon, and you have some sort of blood and guts type affair, maybe in 2025. So, yep. I see where you're going across the board with all of that. So before I don't have to ask him. He basically typed it. A man silent. Let me go ahead and
James, do you have anything you want to verbally say about this match? Give a thumb down if you don't. Okay.
Let me go ahead and bring out my old sports entertainment Michael Cole here.
And I know I'm going to be joining you on the call for this one because James is going to have nothing to do with this.
He's going to be doing this, which again.
Exactly. So I will be on the call with you for this match just because someone has to be.
I am the honest, integral, simple man, the voice of the jam man, unbiased, who will do nothing more but look at the monitor while the world around me burns. Simple as that. That being said, before I move
fine.
on,
everything's fine.
Exactly.
Just like that meme.
I've used that phrase plenty of times. Go ahead and let me bury the biggest Japanese export since Great Muda's anyways, drawing power and more. Oh. Well, I guess we don't need to say anything else about this. So that being said, it pretty much is unanimous across the board outside one. Well, technically speaking, who am I kidding? It's half and half here, but mentally we all know what's kind of going to happen. It's the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, Justin,
it's truly one of those things where my heart says go for FTR, but if I'm betting money in Vegas, I'm betting on the Bucks.
And the only reason I would bet money on something like this is if I'm desperate to hold something near and dear in my heart. And thankfully, I've never reached that point in my life. I've gone to great lengths before to reserve what I need, but never had to do that, thankfully. Well, that being said, I guess I don't need to flip a coin with this, but James asked for it. I'm going to let him do it in his own way, and we'll see if everyone agrees or disagrees. Let's go ahead and talk about it. You talked about the Elite. Let's talk about the last part of it. Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada defends his newly won AEW Continental Championship against the bastard Pac. Simply put, Pac returned and said he is looking for trouble, and if Tony Khan doesn't supply it, he will go looking for it. Kazuchika Okada, of course, came into the scene, confronted Eddie Kingston, and then took his head off with a Rainmaker and took away the identity of the Continental Crown, and is now the second, proverbially, AEW Continental Champion. And this will be his first defense in the first time ever match against the bastard Pac. In what should be a great showcase affair of speed versus power, when you consider Kazuchika Okada, a legend already in his mid-30s, how what he did in New Japan Pro Wrestling, versus the bastard Pac, who already is internationally known, first ever AEW All-Atlantic Champion. It's Dragon Gate versus New Japan Pro Wrestling in AEW, simply put. That being said, James wanted to speak first, so I'm going to say nothing else. James, your thoughts on this match and anything else you wish to share in your own way.
Okada retains. It'll be a good match. This is the only member of the new Elite that I will actually be tuning into singles matches for. So there you go.
Oh, nice. Simply put, I figured I'd give him this to diffuse him a little bit because of how much he actually respects Kazuchika Okada.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything further to add?
I think you said it eloquently in your description. It's his newly won title. It's his first defense. You're not going to have Okada job out in his first defense.
Nope.
I love Pac. I've been a fan of Pac since he was the man that gravity forgot, before he became Neville, before he became a bastard.
Yes.
But Okada is just one of those guys that you don't bet against.
No.
You know, excuse the comparison because I know how much you love this name I'm going to throw. He's on that Roman Reigns level. You just don't bet against him.
You're not wrong.
He's Jeff Jarrett in TNA. You don't bet against him. No. He's Hogan in just about every company he's been in, brother. Because just when you think that the storyline is going to call for him to lose, well, that doesn't work for me, brother.
He's the, and if I can add one more to it, JJ, he's the Patrick Mahomes of football right now.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a hell of an accolade. Even I understand that. And go check out Stats Boy Sports Bar every week with our lovely barkeeps, of course, That Boy Mike and Dory Lou. Here, Tuesdays, the Deputy Bloodiverse of Media, Stat Boy Sports Bar. All right. Well, that seemed pretty straightforward. If nothing else, it's Kazuchika Okada on pay-per-view. Yeah. I got enough. So I got enough. That's all I got to say. Again, let's see here. I'm surprised that none of these so far have been absolutely unanimous across the poll here. So, really? Someone went with Pac. All right. That's fine. 93% went with Okada. A couple people went with the bastard. Maybe they're from UK. Who knows? Or maybe it's Penta and Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix, who's also not medically cleared yet to compete.
They vote on your poll. That'd be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. I'm just saying. I had to lighten the mood a little bit. Now we're on a positive swing. How has Penta not been a singles champion yet? Run back Penta versus Okada. Anyway.
Right.
Hey, maybe that could be next.
Former Impact World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That writes itself.
Can't get a singles title. Freaking Ray Phoenix has been a singles champion, but
that's
hasn't.
Absurd.
Granted, it was a fluke. Mox was injured.
Well, yes.
Granted, it was a judgment call mid-match. You know,
you gotta rectify that, man. He's the more marketable guy. God damn it.
Tony Khan booking, James. Tony Khan booking.
I know. Well, to be fair, as you said,
and you can't rectify anything when you've got the Jacksons up your ass.
No, they're not up my ass. So turn my back. That doesn't mean they're up my ass. Okay, this is me. No.
Look, James can walk off, but as long as he doesn't bend over, I think we're safe. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay.
No. The only time I'll bend over is to give them a stink face because they fucking deserve it. But, you know.
Okay, just don't do that live on video, please. We don't need to get
No, not
Yeah,
on
we
video.
don't need to
not
get
on
shut
video.
down.
No.
yeah, right.
I don't even
That-
have a thought. I don't even have that the Samoan diaper to do that. You know.
It's probably a good thing. Anyways, Noah, back on the track. Now you know
Okay.
how I feel during open mic night sometimes, Noah.
I'm the simple moderator that lets the chaos ensue sometimes. But that being said, he also, of course, gets this, and once again, he got it here. Damn it, James! You freaking idiot!
Oh yeah.
All right,
That's
let's
true.
go. Good God Almighty! Let's go ahead and move to something more positive and bubbly, or is it going to be lost in the dark? Let's talk about the women, shall we? The TBS Championship on the line. The TBS champion, Julia Hart, defending against everyone's favorite, the babe with the power bomb, Willow Nightingale. Of course, Willow Nightingale earned this opportunity, winning a four-way number contendership against Anna Jay, Sky Blue, and Chris Statlander, pinning Sky Blue. Of course, Willow Nightingale's not the first time, though, she's dealing with Julia Hart. It's also not the first time we deal with Julia Hart and Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale, and Chris Statlander. Julia Hart's been champion, of course, since AEW Full Gear, recently coming up in defense against legit Layla Hirsch under open house rules. But we also saw this past Wednesday on Dynamite, she's not coming in here at 100%. She was attacked pre-match before the mixed tag. She came back, and she still got knocked out with a loaded chain fist and locked in the Heartless via ref stoppage. The match ended. Wearing heavy kinesio tape now on that already exaggerated shoulder. Is the phrase still intact here where the house always wins, or when Monet talks, Willow Nightingale walks with the title? And we look over a year to the day, some history to run back at Double or Nothing with the TBS title this time versus the NW World Women's Strong Championship. So there's a lot to unfold here. There's a lot of cause and effect. What does it mean with the house going forward versus the fact we haven't talked about the trios match? What does it mean for the relationship possibly with Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale if Willow wins this back, where Chris has yet to have her one-on-one contractually obligated rematch? And I also want y'all to think about that in consideration. And where does Mercedes Moné play in this? She babyface, is she heel? Is Willow feeling like she's being a bit upset by Moné? Is Moné back for revenge? Is someone going bankrupt? There's a lot to unpack here. So that being said, let's go ahead and get everybody's thoughts about this, because I don't know about y'all, but this is one of my top 4 matches I'm looking forward to the most, to be perfectly honest. Let's go around the horn and get everybody's thoughts. JJ, you kick things off. Who you think leads with the gold, and what's ahead in general for all those women that are involved in and out of this?
Well, first things first, thank you for coming to me first, because out of all the matches, this is probably the one I'm looking most forward to because of the implications that it has for Double or Nothing. We know that Mercedes has the winner of this match. So it seems like it's written in destiny that Willow has to walk out of here with the title. That way, unfortunately, she'll only have a month title run because she's probably going to drop it to Mercedes at Double or Nothing, you know, doing the job like she was supposed to do at Resurgence. Mercedes was supposed to walk out of there with the title, but her injury prevented it.
Right.
So, unfortunately for Willow, I think it's going to be a short run, but she's going to give that back to Mercedes. So Willow takes this here, but then what's been playing into my brain has been these attacks, because not only has Willow been attacked, but Mercedes has been attacked.
Exactly.
And, well, it was dark when Mercedes was attacked, so it could be Julia Hart, the House of Black, but
Could be Sky Blue.
there's also the Willow factor, and it could be Willow, or maybe it's none of them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a pair of women, one of whom who's taken an extended leave of absence to make the fans miss her. One of them who's probably about ready to make her return ahead of going back to Wembley. What if these attacks are being executed by Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker?
The killer and the pillar.
BMD.
Well, I know Big G would pop. Happy birthday again, Big Baller. And I didn't think about them so far yet. But you do bring up a valid point because Jamie Hayter has been gone since Double or Nothing last year when she lost the AEW Women's World Championship, which we'll talk about here after the trios match. And maybe she might be looking at a different agenda, thinking that these two originals' territory might be getting a bit played upon by these outsiders, or maybe they've been forgetting exactly who started and led this division. I like that. I didn't think about those two in this picture, but I like that a lot. Britt Baker versus Mercedes Moné screams booking marquee match for me. But that being said, you got Willow, though, leaving with the TBS title.
I've got Willow leaving with the TBS title because the house may always win, but Wesley Snipes taught us always bet on black. Willow is long overdue for a championship in this company. But if we're being real, she wouldn't have gotten the push that she's gotten if she hadn't defeated Mercedes almost a year ago for that championship. Because prior to that, she was an AEW jobber. Facts are facts.
True that. And of course, she also won the Owen last year, too. Keep that in perspective.
I see Justin shaking his head. Clearly, he disagrees with me again. I'm curious to his thoughts.
I love polarizing conversations because it always makes this so interesting. Who wants to hear a bunch of the same thing unless you have a different take on how the story could go? And again, there's a lot of elements here, not just when it comes to TBS Gold. Justin, go ahead. Counter argument, counter thought. What do you think's ahead for the TBS Championship and Willow and Julia Hart?
Here, God,
He's doubting himself.
Look, again, no disrespect to JJ because I respect everything that he's saying. Why? Why is Mercedes getting the first title shot? She hasn't done anything yet except promos.
I agree. That's not my booking decision, though.
No, I know it's not your booking decision. It's hers because apparently she's the CEO. Julia is gonna win on Sunday, and I'm gonna say something that might not sit well with people here. Julia Hart is also going to beat Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing, giving her first loss in AEW.
Not happening, bro.
That's
okay, but it might not happen, but crazier things have happened in professional wrestling.
True. I will give you that, but
I'm just saying this: Willow is not walking out with the TBS title. If she does, then I will come on here on Double or Nothing's prediction show, and I will tip my hat off to JJ and say, like, yep, I'm a dumbass and I'm wrong.
Wow. I acknowledge you, JJ, for being right. It's basically what he's saying.
I mean, I try to look at it from a business perspective, and where's the money in Mercedes versus Julia? There's no history there. From the minute Mercedes appeared on the scene, she made it 100% clear that she had issues with Willow that needed to be resolved.
Unfinished business.
So if Willow gets the title, then you can start a rift between her and Stat because Stat couldn't get the job done.
Exactly.
Trent's already been in Stat's ear. You could lead to potential heel turn there, where maybe that's how Mercedes gets the belt, is because Stat costs Willow the title because there's been a show of mutual respect between Mercedes and Stat. Not that Mercedes needs help, but it would further that heel turn and solidify it in a month's time. But there's money to be made on a stage like Vegas, which is only a state away from where Resurgence happened anyways. Because that was right here in my backyard of Long Beach, California. Damn near went to that shit. But that's the thing you got to keep in mind is Mercedes was supposed to win that title, but she got injured. And so Willow walked out of it. So Willow dropped a title to Mercedes, as Noah said, almost a month to the day from when that event took place.
Yeah.
Again,
It makes sense to me.
And then like Noah said, not that Britt would normally need to stoop down to the TBS title, but Britt and Mercedes is fucking print some money right there.
Yep.
ding ding.
And you make that for All In Wembley.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In front of 70,000, 80,000 strong.
Hopefully.
Well, yeah.
And especially if Jamie Hayter can get back to challenging for the world title that she never really needed to lose.
I got some thoughts on that. I'll tell you that right now. Anyway.
Well, I mean, the one good thing, unfortunately, that did come from that, Saraya did get her moment, and she was long overdue for that one.
Yeah, you're not wrong
with
there.
her since that.
No, nothing.
Exactly.
Well, Zach Knight, her brother now is in AEW, so there's that. Finding with family, finding alongside family. A different conversation, though. Oh, by the way, congratulations again to Cool Hand Ange and Ruby Soho. Got to get a baby. Ruby Soho's pregnant. So I wish them all the best, and you can probably expect those two to not be on your screen for a while. Family top priority. Hope nothing goes wrong. That being said,
we were going to discuss that tomorrow, but since you brought it up, yeah, I had no idea they were a legit couple. I just thought it was some cute television that was being done, but it explains why the chemistry worked so good between the two of them, because they are a legit couple.
There you go. The more we learn, right, about this business. Ain't that crazy?
Or Tony Khan made it a fiction story, and then they really started liking each other, and then they conceived the baby. That also could be a thing.
This is accurate.
It is accurate.
It's a possibility. And if that's the case, then at least Tony Khan scores some good points for once.
Did one thing right.
He did one thing right.
James, anything you want to say about this match?
Yeah, go ahead and close this out, man. Again, there's a lot to take away here. There's a lot of different aspects, but at the heart of it right now, no pun intended, does Julia Hart win?
No. Quite honestly, you have to go with Willow, and I do think at the end of that, you got to have Mercedes turn heel on Willow. Because let's be honest, you're not going to draw Mercedes Monet money with her as babyface. You're going to do it more as a heel.
Yeah.
You just are. You could probably get away with her being a babyface in New Japan, and it looked like it was going to go that way, but the minute she got injured by Willow, which was a complete accident, you knew that had to flip a switch in her from a kayfabe standpoint, and you have to have her go heel from that point on. This is the perfect time to do that, and it would absolutely lend credence to the trope of I'm the star, I deserve the special treatment, there's a reason that you signed me here, win the belt, and then after she wins the belt, then build up to her versus Britt Baker at Wembley for the TBS title. To me, as JJ said, that screams money. And like, it makes sense because you look at, Mercedes and she's like, I'm the big star and I deserve these opportunities and I got robbed of my opportunities in New Japan because of this woman. And meanwhile, Britt said, I took a step back because people were sick of me and I didn't want to take anybody's spot that people genuinely connected to. I did what was best for the company. When you're just being focused on yourself, it's a perfect story. The shit writes itself. You couldn't book anything more naturally if you tried. Like, I swear to God, if Tony doesn't book this match at Wembley, I'm gonna be pissed because it's staring right at you. Like, you gotta be you can be Stevie Wonder and you can see that shit. Like, it's right there. Like,
I love that.
Book that. Like, it's so easy, man. Wrestling is so easy when you just play into those elements of art imitating life, life imitating art, etc.
Yeah.
Just
And
do
then
that.
then you build up the fact that Britt can become the first female to hold the AEW Women's and
And the
TBS
TBS
championship.
Yep, a little bit of history there, and then have Mercedes ultimately stop that momentum from happening in a shady way. Man, the heat, and it would be even better because that would give, if Jamie Hayter is the one to dethrone Tony Storm, oh man, the pop that would get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And you really don't want to derail Julia too much because she is on a roll. So that's the other reason why you don't want Mercedes beating her.
Correct. You want AEW
You know,
original, somebody within.
You can have her lose to Willow.
Yeah.
Because there's this long standing within the storyline and the company.
Yes.
But going back to what we were talking about casual fans during the 0 hour, getting that belt onto Mercedes, whether it's right or wrong, that without having any matches, she just walks right in and gets to challenge the winner of this match for it. Casual fans know who the hell Sasha Banks is.
Gravitate towards the familiar.
And to that point, I just want to add, and not that I would typically defend, I always have defended this point when it comes to Tony, though. And I feel like people really need to hear this. It's one thing to criticize TK for the shit he does do wrong. Booking money fights is not a wrong thing to do, okay? If the fucking UFC can do it, guess what? So can pro wrestling. Pro wrestling lives off money fights. Always has, always will. At that point, if there is a money fight right there and you can have it for a championship, fuck your rating system. I said what I said. Deal with it.
I'm not going to argue against that. I've always been against the rating system. I didn't think ratings had to come into play in the first.
Well, ranking, sorry.
Ratings, both are bullshit. Don't get me started. Anyway.
Rankings are good, but they aren't the single metric you need to follow. Like, stop enough with this linear, like, oh, we got to go by the rankings. We got to do this. We got to be consistent. Yeah, consistency. You know what happens when you get complacent and consistent? The company gets stale. Nobody wants, exactly, for years. Nobody wants stale. Everybody wants, like, to feel excited. So let people be excited and let it go.
And really quickly, while we're on this side tangent, don't do eliminator matches if you're not going to actually let the contenders win a fucking match every now and then.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Well, I mean, we say that, but they did have the OGK lose to the infantry, so there was that.
Yeah, first time in how many matches, James?
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, and we've actually had one title change hands on Battle of the Belts too. Ooh, we're on the same trajectory. One out of how many?
Yeah.
Get Statboy on it. Yeah, go check out Statboy Sports Market.
Yeah,
Progressive Media. Anyway, guys, great conversation. And also, I'm just going to say this as well. I'm still into the idea of Sky Blue trying to upset Julia Hart for her seat in the House of Black if Julia Hart loses. That's another storyline. That's another way you put the women's division with more inclusion and dynamic. And it's another way you find a way to move them forward without a championship.
Or just a thought. They could go for some tag gold.
What does become a booking panel?
Yeah, right. They could go for some tag gold elsewhere in the indie circuit, somewhere in the companies that TK is available with. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't there tag team championships in CMLL?
You would be correct.
There you go.
Stephanie Valkyrie, of course, holds one half of them.
Have the house. You want to have some corporate synergy? Have the House of Black win the tag team championships over there. Sky Blue and Julia Hart. There you go.
Well,
then there's no need for dissension because they both have gold.
That's true. But if nothing else, at least we are invested in seeing so much more come out of this women's division just from this match alone. And I still say Stokely Hathaway is a crook trying to turn Chris Statlander against her best friend, and Trent reinforcing the idea. But we'll talk more about that later once we get to Double or Nothing. And if it truly is Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné on the marquee for the TBS Championship, because I agree with y'all. I mean, again, you also got to think about this. She's not coming in here at 100%. She's already coming in here as an underdog, even more from a physical vulnerability. That adds to her finally winning. So it just writes itself. Again, it's not hard to book. It's just hard to finance. And you might as well find a different way to say that phrase when you're the $2 billion worth IP in the freaking world underneath the WWE and the UFC, according to what Eric, my crazy friend at ATW, shared out in the universe when it comes to business talk and management. So take that for what
that
you
was
will.
announced by Forbes.
Yeah, so again, that's as legit as it gets. Even I understand that. So yeah, I got to go with Willow here. And a majority are going with Willow as well. It looks like 66% versus 34%. And I do expect Sky Blue to get involved. I expect Chris Statler to get involved. And I expect the confrontation with Mercedes Moné afterwards, regardless of result. But this screams right here that it's Willow's moment for now. But money is about to start moving towards the TBS title, especially if the CEO gets a couple of business partners or security guards and the Renegade Twins that she once talked about. I'm just saying. A lot of aspect, guys. A lot of aspect. It's all about capitalizing on the potential. And that comes down to one person at the end of the day. We'll leave it at that. Okay, great stuff. Let's go ahead and segue into what I think is going to be a fun match, but not concerning a championship. But again, does the house bust? Does the house always win? Do they go 1-1? Do we still get forward with the agenda at the end of the day for this? And Justin, you'll kick this one off when it comes to the TNT Championship. As Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe, the Ring of Honor World Champion, Eddie Kingston, WWE Strong Champion, Adam Copeland, TNT Champion. They go up against the Unified Front and the longest reigning AEW Trios Champions, the House of Black. Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and of course the leader himself, Malachi Black. Simply put, since Adam Copeland won the TNT Championship, and of course has had his cold open, Malachi Black has made his intentions known, and he wants this gold. And gold. I don't know about y'all, but I've been saying for the longest time, Malachi Black should be a singles champion. And it finally feels like he's at that right point physically and mentally where he may be able to do that. At least he's pursuing it. If we're going to move that agenda forward, Justin, I do think that some way the House of Black needs to win. And again, I talk about triple threats being buffer, fall person, winner. I look at trios matches and tag matches, the sum of the parts versus parts of the sum. You have a united front versus a group united for the longest time. Just saying. Justin, where do you stand?
This is a tough one.
I love doing these with y'all, by the way, and I hope everybody enjoys these conversations.
This is the second match I'm not looking forward to at all, because this, like JJ said, should have been on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You know what? You know what? Screw it. If Willow is win Sunday, screw it. Give me the House of Black. I got nothing else to say besides that. Just give me the House of Black and get this over and done with.
All right, man. Calm down. I mean, I do think there's more context out of this, but from a booking standpoint, I can understand your tensions and grievances towards it, because out of every AEW championship, this and the trios are the only ones that pretty much are not on the main card being contended for. But this is the only title on the main card not even being contended for, but teased for later. That being said, Mark Briscoe, no love lost the House of Black. They literally lit him on fire. Eddie Kingston, no love lost with the House of Black after Brody King and him had that collision during the Continental Classic. And now we have Adam Copeland and Malachi Black, and I'm looking very forward to that match. It's got to be coming at Double or Nothing at this point, James. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I do think that. I do think they're building up to a match at Double or Nothing. The way I look at this, you could have broke this up into 2 separate matches and have
Agree.
Adam still defend the TNT title against like Brody King. You could have had a way better card as a result. I really do feel that way. I feel like out of all the titles that should be in a tag match, yes, the Ring of Honor World Championship, say what you will, but that in and of itself should really be the title that should be in a tag match scenario because it's not an AEW title and this is an AEW pay-per-view, but at least you get some showcasing from Ring of Honor. I don't understand the idea of doing a random 6-man yet again. It's like we're right back to the TK way of shit. Like when Christian had, and you know what that tells me? That tells me that, and this even showed when he cut that stupid promo on Dynamite, he's willing to let Tony dog walk all over him. Whereas Christian said, I've been over this 2 other times in 2 other companies. That ain't happening under my watch. I'm making this belt mean something. And he pushed a lot for the shit. And yeah, that's why the TNT title, I think, meant more when he held it. Already, we're back to square one with a 6-man tag. Are you kidding me? You couldn't have made Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black here, or even Adam Cole versus Brody King. Would have been a better freaking match to put on pay-per-view than him in a random 6-man tag.
Especially after the fallout from the mixed tag team match where the House won.
Yeah. Like, at this point, if the House wins, he's got a shot. Put it on pay-per-view. You want to have Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe still fight the other 2 members of the House of Black? Be my guest. That would be a hell of a match to put on pay-per-view too. But the 6-man with the TNT champion involved needs to fucking end. It's a tired fucking trope, and I'm sick of that shit. I'm absolutely sick to death of it.
I agree.
Do better, Tony. Please, for the love of God.
Well, maybe Rocky Romero being the vice president now in New Japan Wrestling and AEW might actually make change happen.
He's a vice president too, even though he's friends with the freaking Bucks of Suck. That will go swell.
I don't work for the office. I just know what my friends share in ATW. So there you go.
Oh, great.
Anyway, corporate synergy aside, I think synergy is definitely on the House of Black side. And at the end of the day, there's a bigger agenda with Adam Cole and Malachi Black that wasn't good enough to push for Dynasty in a different championship outlook, but apparently it's got to come later. And if it's not at Double or Nothing and you give this on TV, you're blowing it, man! So please don't. And I agree with you. I got to go with the House of Black here. It's just one of those things where if the House of Black doesn't win and they literally go 0-2 here, you might as well literally leave them in the dark. You have to give the House of Black the win here, especially if Malachi Black's trying to build some momentum as a singles competitor, which is long effing overdue. What the heck's wrong with you all? Seriously? 82% are going with Adam Cope and Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe. We're in the minority. Right?
I think they're going that way because the fact that Adam Copeland is on that side when it comes right down to it.
That's fair. He is the most recognized name, and he's a baby face, and it's all about overcoming the House. I could see that, but they're not here. Nah.
Let's be honest.
And I mean,
thank you.
To your point about giving it away on TV, if you don't book a match with a member of the House of Black in a prominent position in Las fucking Vegas, you've already failed.
Yep. Yeah. Should be
because the House always wins comes from Vegas.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And
Don't
you have
gamble because the House always wins.
And you have to go with the leader of the House of Black for that to even make sense.
Yeah.
But like,
and you can even turn the other 2 into a tag title match.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to book it, yeah.
Yeah. That's a great way to build a tag feud too on Collision and future challenges for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Again, we already talked about the House of Black, the most notorious, longest reigning, most valued trios champions in the company's history, 25 weeks.
Yep.
It writes itself. We talked about it before. I think you said this verbatim, or James did. Maybe both of you. The House of Black is the most dynamic faction in AEW, where they work so well on all fronts, including Julia Hart. Tag, trios, singles, women's titles. This group works on all fronts if booked correctly. And so far, it's been fair. But when it comes to this match, I do wonder. All right. Good stuff. And again, the house always wins. So there you go. And I'm going to wear all black during this show, so you know who I'm supporting. All right. That being said, we're down to 3 matches. While we have a very unique encounter in the current era, let us all transition. Lord freaking help me. This needs to end. Dadgummit! Gah! Fine.
Well, we're getting timeless.
Yes, we are. As it's timeless Tony Storm defending the AEW Women's World Championship. This time against Thunder Rosa. But I do wonder if she's going to face Thunder Rosa or the woman underneath the face paint. Simply put, these two used to be a tag team, Thunderstorm, and they had a mutual bout the first Forbidden Door over the AEW Women's World Championship. Thunder Rosa won that night as Tony Storm was classic stardom level Tony Storm as challenger. Unfortunately, due to extreme injuries, Thunder Rosa had to vacate the championship and rehab her back. And thankfully, she is back. Good to see that. I always love seeing somebody come back. But since then, Tony Storm has gone from stardom to outcast to illustrious to timeless. And of course, she has overcome the likes of Tony tapped out. Deonna Purrazzo. She overcame Asume, who reminded her, you need to remember what you learned in Stardom, or I'm going to beat you, because Asume came that close being on a Collision. Great damn match. And also, of course, she beat Hikaru Shida for this title and has been champion now since AEW Full Gear. Also has a win over Riho, among others. But again, she's made it personal to the point that she has literally wiped the identity of Thunder Rosa, insulting her culture, insulting her integrity, and then she got an extreme makeover this past Wednesday. So the bottom line, do we finally send the timeless era to Tijuana, or in Thunder Rosa's words, straight to hell? And do we usher in a new golden era with Thunder Rosa once again, the AEW Women's World Champion, the title that she never lost, and we bring this title, and hopefully me, back to full color? And you got to consider, again, we talked about previous names before. Serena Deeb is back on the scene. She has championship intentions. And we all know how incredible Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa was at that Double or Nothing. And again, the fact that Serena Deeb's never been champion still baffles me. You think about Jamie Hayter, who, again, didn't get her moment last year in Wembley, whether it's for the title or for the person that cost her it. Tony Storm and freaking Jamie Hayter. That's a match I've been waiting to see for the longest damn time at AEW, all in stage setting. And then you have the X factor in the middle of this, Mariah May, who right now needs to figure out this identity. Are you in Tony Storm's favor, or are you just in favor because you are Tony Storm of the past? After Mina Shirakawa embraced her, Jesus. And of course, Tony Storm said the Forbidden Door is always open. Could Mina Shirakawa come back in from Japan and challenge Tony Storm to defend the honor of maybe her former friend in Rose Gold? We talked about how much there's the TBS title. There's also a fair amount here in the AEW Women's World Championship. So let's go ahead and put together this cinematic act, and hoping that will be the last act of the timeless era as Tony Storm is champion. Because I'm just going to say right now, I want a new champion, damn it, and someone that will fight. And if I can get Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo run back in AEW on pay-per-view for this title, yes, and thank you. Well, I'm saying right now that Thunder Rosa gets it done here, because I think there's more implications in just a grudge rivalry with Mariah May and Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa in waiting for Forbidden Door. That's my take. Let's go around the horn and get everybody's thoughts. We'll start here counterclockwise. James, starting with you, what's your thoughts on the AEW Women's World Championship?
It gotta be timeless. It's gotta be timeless. It's gotta be. I don't. You see, you say she doesn't fight. Correction. She does fight. She just fights with her shoe. That's the difference.
Oh my God.
So there you go. She fights with her shoe. She only has one weapon. She do anything you have to do to win. She still fights the person one-on-one. There's no cheap shots. Yes, she does.
Are you
Yes,
blind? The friggin' entourage, that damn butler and her friggin' Tony Storm cosplayer, friggin' screwed the virtuoso. We talked about this. Why the hell am I the only one that actually sees things?
Well, listen, I saw it in black and white. I don't know how you saw it, but I saw it in black
you're
and white. So I didn't
colorblind.
see
You're
that.
also as blind as
I
the
didn't
day
see
is
it.
long. Go fracking figure.
I'm just saying. I don't know what you talking about. I'm just saying.
Damn it,
no.
James.
So no, I still gotta go with Timeless. It's too soon, and again, I think you got up.
The hell?
How do I do that? I want to do that.
Find the filter on your camera and change it to grayscale. That's all you need to do, or monochrome, and there you are. Maybe I need to talk like old timey. Maybe I need to go sign and play vaudevillian music over me
don't know how
and freaking have a rant. Damn it!
all right, how do you do it? How do you do it? I don't even know.
Your camera. Well, while James figures that out,
I can't do it. Fuck it.
He's going with the timeless era continuing. This is too damn weird.
No,
I'm so annoyed.
Listen, I'll go with Timeless, but again, I think there is more to the Timeless era because I think at the end of the day, she only gets dethroned by one person, and that's got to be Jamie Hayter. It's got to be. Wembley is the place for it to end. It's the only place. The whole Timeless gimmick, the inception of that character started at Wembley. And
it was illustrious there, but I do understand what you're saying.
And it started because who got injured? Jamie Hayter. That was supposed to be Jamie's moment. It got robbed because of injury. That is the moment you have her come in and get the title and end the reign of Timeless. That's it. There's no other option at that point. Plus, there's a lot of history between Tony and Jamie as well. So you got a lot to play with there. And I feel like it's just kind of everything else coming up is just a buffer until you get to Wembley. So Timeless retains, I think.
The only way that Timeless Tony Storm retains here is if a double or nothing, it's Timeless Tony Storm versus Mariah May. And that's the only reason I will change my prediction. Because at this point, I'm ready to get back to 64-bit Technicolor here with the freaking AEW Women's World Championship.
Listen, you are in 64-bit black and white. You should be appreciative.
There's a reason why I don't live in the past. Anyway, and besides, they're not going to Hollywood. She's not facing Wendy Richter. Stop calling her out, damn it.
Well, to be fair, I mean, there's a reason I don't live in the past. Me too. Not anymore.
Well, you also live in a mad world. Anyone who's seen that music video knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we move on here, more people are going with Timeless Tony Storm retaining 72%, while 20% are going with Thunder Rosa. Like I said, the only way she retains is if we get Mariah May versus her at double or nothing. And that's a slim margin, but that might make me change my pick. I'm just over the Timeless era at this point. Before we move on, I see Justin's hand. Hello, Pop. Good to see ya. As always, my friend. He says, over Tony Storm gimmick, Thunder Rosa for the win. And thank you kindly for the $10 super chat. Bravo. Appreciate you. Now, let's keep going around the horn and let's go to the other man in color here. Justin.
Man.
Your take on the Timeless era and the AEW Women's World Championship. Do we continue to live in this charade, or do we see La Mera regain the prize that she had to vacate?
Oh, man. Noah. I'm just going to end it I'm just going to disagree with you and say this. Chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe.
I agree. Tits up is my favorite part.
Of course it is. Gee, I wonder why. I'm not going to say it because I've already said it and I already know what he's about. There's a reason why I'm an advocate for women's wrestling.
Hey, I am too. Come on, man. Give me more credit than that. I've been there. I've been in those battlefields too, bro. Come on now.
Fine. I'll give you some credit. You really have improved. All right. And that being said, I expect you on the call during this match in the same filter, my friend, because right now I think everybody is like, what the hell is happening here?
I got to figure that out.
I know. Poor Walter just bought his computer and he's like, what the hell?
JJ, you're fond of the Timeless era. Where do we go from here heading to double or nothing? Does Jamie Hayter show up at double or nothing? Do we set up the big blow off, the final act, the feature presentation, the ultimate attraction at Wembley Stadium, or does the Mara get her championship back? Go ahead.
You know, normally Pop and I are on the same frequency, but I've said it before. I will die on this hill with a stake of holly through my heart. Timeless Tony Storm is the best fucking gimmick that AEW has conceived and produced and executed.
Fair enough.
Every other great gimmick has been a carryover from some other company. Timeless Tony was born in AEW. We are going to continue living in the timeless era. You are not going to return to color just yet, unfortunately for you. They didn't pull the trigger with Deonna Purrazzo, which they should have.
Yes.
They're not going to do it here.
Mm.
I love Thunder Rosa, but it's not going to happen.
And like I said, you have already subplots with Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo, Mariah May versus Tony Storm, Tony Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. I know the Forbidden Door is before freaking All In, but again, how close are we to Jamie Hayter returning? Would they do it 1 year to the day? We haven't heard high nor tail nor tease of anything. And I do want to see Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm, but I feel like the longer I hold out, the less it might happen. And again, we got 2 more pay-per-views after this before we head to All In. August 25th. I just don't know if I see the timeless era continuing that long, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I'll tell you this much. There is a lot, at least it seems like there finally is a lot going for this women's division when it comes to the depth and the stories that you can actually tell and grudges to be fulfilled. If Tony Storm freaking wins on Sunday, and again, I might change my pick because again, I'm counter-offering myself because again, Jamie Hayter, longer storytelling, JJ's continuing to influence me in business. Fudge it. If Tony Storm wins on Sunday, it's timeless commentary going forward until she loses the title. So we'll see what happens. But for now, while I finish out this conversation.
I hear someone does not like my reign as AEW Women's World Champion.
God damn it, James, you fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot.
All I will say to you, young boy, is chin up, tits out, and watch for the show.
Someone's going to take a screenshot of this and put this on the internet and say that we've gone to the Twilight Zone. I might as well host that show at this point because I'm the only one in a suit. Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, that being said, this is getting too damn weird. I'm going to finally bring things back to restore order in freaking color because we're down to 2 matches, folks. Believe it or not, this has been a hell of a talk. And if nothing else, this has been definitely entertaining, I'm sure, for some to say the least, and confusing. Okay. We've gone around the horn a lot here. Let's talk about, honestly, probably the number 1 match that we're here for, and it's not the main event. I just got one word for you. And guess who's kicking this thing off? The guy that right now is not on screen, but the name implies what this might mean. James. Bruv. We are about to... We are about to define arguably the greatest right now going to professional wrestling at this time. All time is a long stretch, but you already have what we will call the perfect wrestler versus the guy that's on another level that could lead professional wrestling into another eon with what he freaking brings. For the first time ever, it is the Billy Goat. It is the All Elite Bruv. It is Will Ospreay going one-on-one against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, in the continuation of his last Odyssey. I just can't wait to fucking call this match. I just cannot wait. That being said, let's go ahead and look at a little bit of the story here, maybe a little bit of each person's side, what each person brings, and really dissect what this could mean for professional wrestling. Damn it. As we know, Bryan Danielson is a continuation of his last year full-time in his illustrious career and has taken us on this odyssey of unforgettable matches and timeless classics. in and out of AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now AAA Mexico. And that's fair, by the way. But we look at Will Ospreay, and he's the guy defined the last 8 years of New Japan Pro Wrestling and has brought himself and anybody who's been in the ring with him on another level and done everything possible in both Red Pro and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Came here to prove that he is the GOAT, not the Billy GOAT, but just the GOAT. Quite simple. And Bryan Danielson, being the selfless person he is, wants to give him a chance to prove it. James, you and I called Konosuke Takeshita versus Will Ospreay. We literally lost our shit. And since then, Will Ospreay has faced the likes of Katsura Shibata and Kyle Castagnoli, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Kyle Fletcher. While Bryan Danielson this year alone has been in the ring the likes of Jun Akiyama, Eddie Kingston, Kyle Castagnoli, Kazuchika Okada, and his hero, a Blue Panther, I believe, in AAA. And at this point, Bryan Danielson's done everything possible you think he could do to give us this in this business. He says he's grateful. I'm forever grateful for the American Dragon. Plain and simple. I've been a fan and follower of Bryan Danielson since Ring of Honor. So that being said, James, let's talk about this fucking match, bro. Give us your thoughts on this one-on-one encounter, strengths, weaknesses, and ultimately, who you got winning.
I will say that Ospreay has absolutely floored me with his ability on the mic. I mean, I think everybody knew how good he was in the ring, but I mean, the minute he has come in, even before he was officially signed, this dude's been like Conor McGregor Dynamo, like on the mic. And I mean,
he has such an explosive personality.
Yeah, man. Like he's really like, and this is a far cry from what I saw back in WCW or WCPW, excuse me. Cause like he was unreal as a wrestler, but not like natural on the mic. You could tell there was a bit of him just trying to remember things he needed to say. Everything is so natural with him now. I don't know what switch flipped, but I mean, he's just been on another level since last year's All In build with him versus Jericho, him versus Hiroki Goto, his last run in New Japan. Even Omega, him and Kenny Omega too.
Yota Tsuji, just saying.
He's been on this kick ever since his first match with Kenny Omega in the Tokyo Dome. Actually, now that I think about it,
it's a complete reset since Wrestle Kingdom 17, where he lost the IWGP United States Championship. I think since then he basically found what he needed. To your point, on the mic and in himself. Continue.
Yeah, to me, it's no question. I feel it's Ospreay's time because he is right up there with MJF. Like they're 1A, 1B at this point. They're the two top stars of this company. And they will be, I'm sure, with, you want to add a 1C in there, add Swerve Strickland in that mix. That's a future three-way for the title going forward. Those are your three top stars in the company if you play your cards right. And that's a hell of a fucking top three. To me, you got to go with Ospreay. I love Danielson, but I'm not betting against the Billy Goat because he's been on fire literally since he signed on that dotted line. So, minus that little slip up with Hunter, which,
it is what it is.
I put more on Tony than I put on Ospreay. Unfortunately, that's just the culture he cultivates.
Same.
I go with Ospreay, man. There's no way you're stopping his momentum at this point.
There you go. JJ, let's go to you next on this. We're crisscrossing here. What's your thoughts on this one-on-one match? And we all know your connection and roots to Bryan Danielson, PWG, Ring of Honor represent, and we all know if that certain theme hits, somebody's going to break on screen, but we'll talk more about that if it actually happens. But your take on this first time everyone encounter. Again, you're a guy that's all about long-term storytelling. You look at both these men's careers and what professional wrestling means in an aspect to them, what they get at pro wrestling is their storytelling. And we are in for one hell of a ride, bro. So go for it. Your thoughts on this?
I mean, what can be said that hasn't already been said? This is going to be the match of the night. If it doesn't live up to match of the night expectations, then there's booking reasons as to why. And if it doesn't live up to match of the night expectations, we're going to be cussing up like a sailor.
Well, yeah, some of us.
But I feel like Ospreay is on a tangent here. I don't think he's going to lose just yet. I love Brian, but I feel like knowing that his time is just about up, he's going to start that putting people over tour type of scenario to get the next gen ready. And a huge win for Ospreay over Danielson is just going to make him even more than he's already been made. And then we can always run this back at Double or Nothing, turn it into a little series.
I'd be down with that.
But yeah, I'm going to give this one to Ospreay.
Yeah, there's one thing you say tangent though that sticks out to me. Don Callis family. Don Callis preserves Will Ospreay as the golden goose. And we all know that Don Callis is a leech. He leached off Kenny Omega to create history and make a ton of effing money. And now he's invested in Will Ospreay, using him to literally destroy Kenny Omega to the point Kenny Omega is recovering. And again, you thought that he was going to get involved in Revolution against Kenosi Takeshita. He hasn't. He hasn't gotten involved on behalf of anybody that Will Ospreay has faced. He has only tried to soften up the American Dragon Bryan Danielson because Don Callis knows the threats that Bryan Danielson poses if he beats Will Ospreay, which again, not out of the realm of possibility. And of course, we know on Collision there will be a bunkhouse brawl. Take that for what you will against the Bunkhouse family, including Bryan Danielson. So we'll see what happens out of that. But I've also noticed this just slight change in demeanor and dynamic when it comes to Will Ospreay. I don't think he approves what the Don Callis family has been doing. And if you're not on Don Callis' MO, that's when he might try and screw Driver U. I don't think it happens here at Dynasty, but I do think something else is looming in changing the direction of the All Elite Brub. And I think it comes out of this match where I agree so far with you two and Pop. I do think Will Ospreay is going to win. It's just a matter of how and with what, knowing how far these two are willing to go and how far they're willing to risk. At one point, I think Boatman said that once that bell rings, it's professional wrestling. It's where we literally put our livelihood on the line. And knowing these two crazy cycles mentalities, it very well might feel like that. Just saying. But I got to go with Ospreay as well. And a majority are going with Ospreay as well, but not unanimous. Again, the fact that none of these matches are unanimous really surprises me. 82% Will Ospreay, 72% with Bryan Danielson. That being said, there's a lot of words we could use. Banger, match of the year candidate, timeless, instant, classic for the ages, etc., etc., etc. Simply put, this is professional wrestling, damn it. Yeah. Justin, take it home with this match. Your thoughts on this first time ever one-on-one encounter, whether it's the first, whether it's the only, and at the end, who's winning?
Uh-oh.
Nope. I agree with all of you. I got nothing else to say on that. I don't see Danielson winning.
It's gonna be a hell of a match. That's all we care about, I think, at this point.
Well, again, we are invested as fans in storytelling, but we're also invested in quality, competition, and professional wrestling. And in a way, AEW gives that. It's just a matter of which one gives you more of what you're looking for, depending on who's doing it. We talked about Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong earlier. This is Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay. Enough said. It was the first match made for the damn pay-per-view. And it's literally like the most important match on this card. And it doesn't have any championship involved. Not showcase, not even on the line. In fact, it's the only match on this card without a championship in it. On the main card. Ain't that something? Well, that being said, one of these two is going to elevate pro wrestling and their legacy and definitely forge forward in what is trying to be created here in AEW, and that is a new dynasty. And with that being said, I hope everyone's enjoyed the conversation so far. Please like, share, comment, tell a friend. Thank you, Pop, also for your contributions, and Walter as well. We do this for all the shows, all the biggest brands, all the biggest names, all the biggest pay-per-views across all things professional wrestling. And with that being said, we've had a lot of fun talk, but let's go ahead and get right down to it let's go ahead and talk about the main event where garments are we finally going to swerve where the pressure is at its highest and see history created with Swerve Strickland becoming the AEW World Champion or long reign the King of Television, and his name is Samoa Joe. It's Samoa Joe defending the gold 1-on-1 against Swerve Strickland. Simply put, this stems from Swerve Strickland's continued momentum and rise since the fallout with Heyman and Page after Wrestle Dream and nearly killing the man at freaking Full Gear. It crossed over into the new year with Samoa Joe, of course, beat MJF at World's End and has been our dominant face of all Elite Wrestling. And of course, we saw how this was built out of Revolution, when it was a triple threat where Heyman cost Swerve the chance. Swerve once again earned this chance, being Konosuke Takeshita on television for #1 contendership. And Swerve has shown how far he's willing to go and endure and sacrifice, including his own blood, to make sure that he leads with this title. Samoa Joe simply said, though, this guy, when it comes to the big one, he usually gets choked out or he chokes. Bottom line, guys and gals in the chat if you're watching. Does Swerve get choked out, or does he finally get crowned? So that being said, let's go around the horn here and talk about this match and arguably the future of the AEW World Championship and, simply put, the AEW in general, because this is the cornerstone, the richest prize, the face of the company. JJ, let's go ahead and start with you, and we'll go counterclockwise. JJ, do you have a new AEW World Champion? Is it finally Swerve's time to hold the keys to the kingdom? Yeah. Thinking.
Yes.
See, it would be really easy to just come out of here all willy-nilly and be like, yes, absolutely, he's going to do it.
But
where's Adam Page been?
Suspended.
Yeah.
Indefinitely.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
He just wanted a break from the boo shit.
And you know what? As little as I respect Adam Page, I can't say I blame him.
I gotta coexist with that, if we're being perfectly honest. Continue.
God, there's that part of me that thinks that he's going to show up here and cost Swerve the title.
Oh, boy.
And keep this train rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Because while I see Swerve becoming champion by the end of the year, I don't know if I see it at Dynasty.
Mm.
You know, prior to All In and Wembley, you guys always would say that Double or Nothing was their WrestleMania. It was their biggest show of the year.
So that put AEW on the map. That defined the brand.
If you're going to have the ascension happen, it should be at that show. But how do you get to that show and still make it worth seeing and watching? Because so many people are ready for this.
And again, Double or Nothing is not till May, next month, May 26th.
Yeah, so over a month away. It can be done, but you've got to figure some way to make the story compelling. You know, much like we discussed last night when we did our Rebellion Simply Predicting, which, if you guys didn't see that, go to the archives on the Simple Man's brand or the Casa D18 Studios and watch that before tomorrow. But much like we discussed when we discussed Nick Nemeth and Moose, and how Moose called Nick Nemeth a choke artist, never able to beat the system, never able to finish the job. That's kind of been the same MO here with Swerve. And if you're going to use that vernacular to push this match, you've got to have that payoff for it. So it's weighing back and forth in my head. Fuck it. I'm gonna go with my heart.
Garments. He's going with Swerve. All right. Well, Justin?
Hopefully going with my heart pays off this time and betting against my brain, but don't be surprised if the Hangman costs him the opportunity.
As the unbiased, integral voice of the JMN, you might get a different non-professional reaction if that happens from me personally. Lord help my mentality. Justin, where do you stand on the AEW World Championship? Is it finally Swerve's time to truly own the keys to his house, or are we still living in Samoa Joe's world?
Oh man, this might be the first time I'm agreeing with JJ.
Whoa.
Because let's be honest here. This is Swerve's second opportunity at the AEW World Championship.
Correct. He was a previous challenger for the AEW National Championship, had a chance to become number one contender for the TNT Championship, lost against Bryan Danielson with the Heyman and Page boo crap. Former AEW Tag Team Champion, of course, the following Keith Lee, they lost those titles, and he basically has been swerving in and out of AEW to the point 2 years ago he got tired of sitting on the bench.
Yeah, so hearing what you just said, no, it kind of makes me think that Swerve is walking out of here with the AEW World Championship. I'm gonna elaborate here a little bit more.
Please do. It's the main event. It's what I encourage everybody to do. Even the chat.
He did not get pinned in that triple threat match, correct?
Correct.
So if for some reason he is going to get another rematch at the championship, if he doesn't win, there's one way to do this and one way only to do this only. If a screw job, a double count out where nobody wins this match. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Swerve is going to win because if he doesn't win on Sunday, I don't think he deserves another match at the championship come Double or Nothing. I honestly don't. And there's rumors going around. And look, I don't trust rumors, but there's rumors going around that not only is Jack Perry supposed to return, but so is MJF. And if MJF does return, who says that MJF is not going to cost Samoa Joe the AEW World Championship against Swerve Strickland? So I got Swerve winning this, but if Samoa Joe wins this clean without outside interference, I'm sorry, but Swerve has to earn his way back up to a championship match and step to the back of the line come Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. And you notice during that contract signing and that Don DeMarco P. Diddy mic drop, though, how Swerve talked about how dangerous it is to fight him for this title and what he realizes Joe might do to preserve it. Then the subtle nod about what they're trying to create here, James, a dynasty. Said a lot of names. Kazuchika Okada, Mercedes Moné, Will Ospreay. What did the audience chant? MJF. And you could just tell there was a subtle smile where Joe and Swerve, yeah, they know. And again, we saw prior to MJF losing the title, there was that face-to-face backstage where Swerve and MJF were debating about the AEW World Championship. And I do think that still is a match to happen. But let's be honest here, guys. MJF was fucked up. He was fucked up beyond all belief. His body was broken, warped, battered, bruised, and twisted in ways that I don't even need a medical degree to try and freaking analyze. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon to get physically involved in AEW, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I do think MJF definitely has a right to challenge for his prize again against a different opponent. But I'm going to leave it at that for now. And Swerve has kind of become the proverbial babyface, James. I mean, his own integrity kind of cost him at one point in Revolution. Prince Nana gave him the crown jewels, and he didn't want to use them. So again, is Swerve going to do this on his own merit? Will Prince Nana continue to support the boss? Does Prince Nana maybe feel undermined? Is he costing him more money versus being in the money? I know we love the whole Swerve and Prince Nana dynamic, but I'm just putting it out there right now. The only other factor right here that we know could be there that could hurt Swerve is Prince Nana. So just keep that in mind also, guys, in your thought process. So, James, now it's on you. What's your take on this?
Well, I hate to be that guy, but I got to disagree only because of so many factors at this point. Swerve's losing this dirty somehow. Like he's going to either it's going to be Hangman or MJF or Nana costing him. There's too many factors at play to say he's definitely going to win. And ultimately, it will at least protect him because that means he won't lose clean to Joe. So he'll be able to get another shot down the line, fair and square, hopefully by that point, after he gets rid of his demons, whatever they want to go with on that. But the way I see this, and I think this would freshen up the entire Mogul Embassy if they do this, I would continue with the Hangman and Swerve feud for a number of different reasons. I don't know if you can do MJF and a group against the Undisputed Kingdom. You could, but it's a bit harder to do for Blood and Guts, which is typically a month or a few weeks after Double or Nothing. And we always forget about that too. That's probably, and knowing how AEW has been doing it, this might be its own standalone pay-per-view event come that time.
Mm.
So if they do, that could be one War Games, the Undisputed Kingdom versus MJF's Dynasty. Wardlow, possibly Richard Holiday comes in, possibly somebody else. Who knows? But the other one has to be Swerve versus Hangman. And in order to do that, you have to have a group for Hangman to lead. 3 names that he can lead. Bounty Hunter Brian Keith, the Lucha Cowboy Bandito, the Cowboy James Storm, who is on free agency. Book it. It's the perfect faction for Hangman. You can't get more cowboy shit than that. I mean, seriously, you can't. I feel like that's the way you should go if you're going to do a dirty finish, because then you have a really great War Games match to look forward to bookend if you're going to do a pay-per-view of Blood and Guts. One to open, one to close. I would have it as the opener personally, but that's just kind of my brain spinning, but that would be
But clearly you're booking past Double or Nothing at this point, but you have literally the pilot being come Sunday night a screwy finish.
Yep. I think it's either way it's going to be a screwy finish. I just giving the idea of what the best way to go about that would be. And I think it's Hangman's versus Swerve to continue. And, Mogul Embassy versus Cowboy Shit faction. There you go. That's how I do it, if you're going to do it anyway.
It's wild booking, but some of it does make sense. And I didn't even think about that. The name of the show, Dynasty. MJF's former running mates in MLW ran a group called Dynasty with Alicia Toot and Richard Holiday, to your point. I didn't even think about that or that connection.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where, I wonder if Richard Holiday is on AEW's radar. And could you do like we usually see sometimes at AEW pay-per-views? Do we see somebody show up? I don't necessarily get a new signing because I haven't heard anything about that. Because last new signing, of course, I mean, he signed Kazuchika Okada, Mercedes Moné, Will Ospreay in the span of freaking 4 months. I think that's enough right there for now, to be perfectly honest. Especially if a couple of other assets are added to the roster. But as far as this goes, guys, James, you're sitting on this one solo, man. I gotta go with Swerve at this time. It's just one of those things with how long they built up this guy, how far he's willing to take himself and his body. I mean, also, do you not remember what happened on Dynamite, man? He got laid out by Samoa Joe. He's been laid out by Samoa Joe each week now in a puddle of his own blood. This guy with a military MO looking to literally hit his only kill shot needed to finally become champion. I think he finally hits it at Dynasty. I think it's Swerve's time. I think he deserves that moment, and I think you truly do reset the landscape and see what this Dynasty holds with him holding the key to the kingdom. I gotta go with Swerve here. And majority are going with Swerve Strickland, by the way, 83% versus 17%, because at the end of the day, I look at things like this for Dynasty. Dynasty is literally a night of champions. You guys realize across this card, we've only had one title change, right? Willow Nightingale. I think right here, this is the biggest culmination that you have by the end of the show, especially in the media scrum. Swerve Strickland. I think you really try and bring us into something to buy us into Watch Wednesday and hold on to heading into Double or Nothing. And I think it starts with Swerve Strickland. Swerve is new champ. Justin, you got a thought before we see if anyone else has anything else? What else is on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to go back on what James was saying. He brought up blood and guts. We don't know when Adam Cole is coming back because he's off TV. Because he's off TV right now
indefinitely.
Who would you, if this was the blood and guts match, James? Who replaces Adam Cole in that match? Because you can't have Undisputed Kingdom without Adam Cole in that match.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, you can. It's easy. Find a way to make right with Kyle O'Reilly. Add Bobby Fish to the mix. There's your Undisputed Kingdom. There you go. Have the Undisputed Era mixed with the Undisputed Kingdom taking on the Dynasty faction. Wardlow turns on the Undisputed Kingdom. Just figured I'd point that out there as well, because I know that's probably confusing for a lot of people that I put Wardlow with MJF, but no, there was a reason. I thought about that too. It's okay.
It's wild booking, more wild than Tony Khan's curly brain might be able to handle at this point.
Hey,
but at least there's some context to it.
First, exactly. I was about to say, give me a little bit more credit than freaking TK and his happy magic freaking writing of like, ooh, I have matches. Let me put this match here and this match there. No, I actually have a rhyme and reason for shit.
You do. I gave you context, but also the James Storm thing, dude, way out there in my opinion. That's all.
No, not as out there as you think. To be fair. Plus, you could get Wildcat Chris Harris because the America's Most Wanted have been going on a weird indie tour lately, apparently. So there you go. You can have him as the manager. Wildcat Chris Harris managing Cowboy shit? Yeah, please. I'll go. Sign me up, man. I'm for it. Let's go.
Good grief. This is some weird West shit right here that James is trying to create. That might be the
instead of bringing in AMW, why not bring in a pair of machine guns?
Well, yeah, but they're going to be fighting with the Young Bucks, I think.
Exactly. Because Heyman got replaced from the Elite.
See what he's doing there? Heyman and Page and the Mostly Machine Guns versus the Succession.
And when he comes back, Omega.
Yep. Because Golden Lovers is something that's going to happen at some point. They're going to run back Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks. Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega when they both get cleared. Let's not forget, Kota Ibushi is also signed to AEW, but he's got 2 broken ankles at this point. So, again. That's what happens when you face Marufuji and Pro Wrestling Noah at the Arc, just saying. But bottom line is this. Dynasty needs to leave us wanting to continue to follow AEW's journey back to their genesis, especially back in Las Vegas after last year's crowd, at Double or Nothing. And Dynasty has to bring out something big from it. It can't just be a showcase event. There has to be some change. There has to be something huge. So I hope that this is the biggest thing that we get out of it, nothing else. Swerve Strickland makes history as AEW World Champion. And simply put, just do it as that. Don't put the other word in context because similar to Trick Mellow Game, I understand representation, culture, the spectral landscape of people and identity, but I think it just matters more if a guy like him just becomes the freaking world champion of arguably the second biggest company in the world. So,
yep.
And you said yourself, Samoa Joe's a torchbearer. He's transitional, but he is that for a purpose. He puts the future over. He's always been that. He's been that status quo. He's been that iron, that rock, that mantle that you need to really put yourself forward. AJ Styles, people. So seriously, it writes itself for me. Swerve Strickland gets the W over Samoa Joe. I mean, Samoa Joe, he doesn't have anything else to prove at this point. I honestly wonder what else Samoa Joe wants to do, why he's in the best condition. I guess he's been in a long time, considering he's been through concussion protocols and knee surgeries. But I think Joe has done what is needed so far for AEW since the turn of the year. Let's see if Swerve can take it even further. So
I wouldn't be mad if he got the Duke. I'm just saying I don't know if it's realistic with how many outside factors are at play.
I know.
That's the only issue.
And that's a very and that is a very fair point. All right. Well, that being said, good stuff, guys. And believe it or not, folks, that concludes this edition of City Predicting All Elite Wrestling as we have completely covered AEW Dynasty. So what is your predictions, expectations, new champions, continued storylines, new narratives to begin? Does anything end? Do we still live in a timeless era? Does Swerve still look for a place to rent? Or does he finally take the keys to whose house? So, again, there's a lot to think about here that could come. Yeah. The freaking Run DNC. They're going to call me. Anyway,
Sure.
Don't get any super chat ideas or freaking karaoke night ideas from that. No. Anyway, I'm looking forward to calling with you and the James and JJ, especially with certain portions that will be in black and white. AEW Dynasty, and I'm looking very forward to this preview. So thank you all for tuning in. I see you sent me something, so I'll see what I can do to get that uploaded. Before we conclude, let me just go ahead and look at some comments here. Swerve's house! Scapegoat, go cry me a river. Well, I could tell where people think about that. Jamie Hayter returns. Wardlow interferes during Strong vs. O'Reilly. Jericho turns on Hook. Dales and Ospreay ends in a Blackpool Combat Club. DC Don Callis family brawl. No. Can't wait. I could see Jeff Perry getting a bomb in the chat match, plus debut of most machine guns. I also expect we could see the return of Britt and Hayter at the end of Tony's match. Some people's got similar opinions here versus us, so there you go. All right, folks. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the super chat, your support, your interactions. Always appreciate it. We look forward to engaging you once again on City Predicting. The next time we do City Predicting, of course, we're going to transfer things over to the WWE wing as we go to Backlash, and prior to that, TNA for Under Siege. Stay tuned for more on that. And of course, Jimmy Dark will be able to keep you in tune with live watch-along event coverage of both these weekend's events with TNA Rebellion and AEW Dynasty's pay-per-view. And of course, JJ will host the weekly Saturday Night Shenanigans that open mic night with friends that haven't been around for a while. And of course, continued guests, and of course, me, even if I have no voice. I look forward to seeing hopefully Big D, but definitely the Cleaver Con Andrew, Ohio represent, and whoever else shows up too, and what the agenda might be. Before we conclude, I'm going to shut up now and let these guys chill while I see what this picture is about on my phone, indeed. James, always a pleasure. You have such a unique mind. You're very creative, very passionate. Pride also going on as well. For me to highlight that. And again, where can people find you? Is he muted?
Oh, nope. Hi. Sorry.
I hear you now. I hear you.
You can find me on the socials at youtube.com/jhebertside95. That's also my Twitter handle. You could also get me on Facebook at James Heatman Hebert. I do really cool and dumb things on the internet.
Clearly.
Yes, go check it out. I'll be on the watch along for Dynasty. Working hard at the documentary. That should be released hopefully in a week or a week and a half's time. It keeps getting delayed because the freaking thing takes longer than I thought because I get so many ideas. So that's just editor brain. So yeah,
that's fair.
That's where that's going, but it's coming along good. There's also, a few Jay Hebert side of things in the can on my channel right now as we speak. You want to watch those on demand. I posted 3 episodes this week because of all the happenings of the news from wrestling this week that I refuse to cover anymore. So yeah, that was
Nice
kind of
man.
the end of that.
Nice man.
So check that out, and check out the other 2 following that, where I covered the passing and the legacy of Akira Toriyama, great legendary Dragon Ball creator, and then I covered the Will Smith Jada Pinkett thing, and it finally happened. He's finally divorced her. Good on you, my friend. So yeah, if you want to hear my thoughts on that, go ahead and check that out. That's about it. That's all I got to plug.
All right, well, appreciate you, James. I look forward towards what's ahead for us here on Saturday and Sunday. Justin, you may only do all this predicting, but it's always fun. Don't be so tough on Jeff right now, all right? He's trying to get a move done. And again, if you want to plug promote, where can people find you?
I'm never hard on Jeff at times, so it's always me on the other end. But yeah, Forever Boston Sports, we're actually doing polls on who we think is going to win the playoff matchups. As everybody knows, playoffs start tomorrow. Celtics got a revenge tour going against the Heat on Sunday, so yeah, should be a fun series. But other than that, MWL, Noah right there ended season 5, win the MWL Tag Team Championship. So yeah, we got some great things coming for season 6. Havoc is returning. Diamond is returning. We got a new show in Surge coming. So yeah, if anybody wants to join MWL for season 6, hit up me, Sean, Stevie, or the Commissioner Jeff, or the co-owner of MWL, Bradley Campbell, as well. And by the way, congratulations to Bradley. Find out that he's gonna be a father to a new baby boy coming soon. So,
Hey.
Congratulations to you, Campbell. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fair enough, man. Well, again, stay positive and always just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. Looking forward to next time, whether it's All Elite or something else that we simply predict. Well, JJ, again, you and I, we never rest when it comes to what we do here in and out of the internet, even if I protect my mentality as much as I can. And I saw a little thing that you brought in. But again, man, go ahead and tell the people where they connect with you and find you. And it's always a pleasure. Looking forward towards these calls with you.
Well, you can always find me on the socials. Instagram, The Renegade JJ Williams, Twitter, ROWJJ Williams, YouTube, Casa D18 Studios. Thank you to everybody that's watching right now. You can also find me Monday through Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, on the Casa D18 Studios channel for the love of wrestling. My daily wrestling recaps. Mondays, I cover Impact and SmackDown. Tuesday, Raw. Wednesday, NXT and NWA Power. Thursday, Dynamite. For now. If things do not change by Double or Nothing, then Dynamite will go bye-bye, and it'll be a 3-day week for me.
Stupid one.
So,
fair enough.
Go back into the archives, check out Inside the Mind of the Renegade, which aired this past Wednesday, where I discussed what I would do to improve AEW in the situation right now. It is Heeb-Man approved. Hopefully come tomorrow when we go on the air for Rebellion, it'll be Simple Man approved.
I'll let you know.
Open mic night, of course, this Saturday. Got quite a few things to discuss here. Going to discuss the Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley thing. Going to talk a little bit about Ruby and Cool Hand Ange. And apparently, while we've been on the air, 2 talents have been released.
Wait,
Jinder
what?
Mahal and Zia Lee. Will more come? We shall find out here in the next 24 hours before we go on the air.
Oh, Lord. Budget cuts!
Well, if we're being honest,
Yeah.
how much are you going to miss Jinder Mahal, Noah?
I know I won't.
Wait,
How often was Xia Li on television?
Oh my God, I don't remember the last. time
There
she
we
was
go.
on.
So budget cuts always suck, but at the end of the day, it's not like we're cutting somebody that's in the middle of a storyline.
I will
Fair.
say it is weird that they cut Jinder Mahal. That's considering he was.
He is a utility player. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, like he
kinda-
fought for the world title, like, and had a thing with The Rock.
Which, by the way, getting back on the Ruby Soho thing for a second there. Congratulations to her and
Yeah,
her boyfriend.
there you go.
If of course everybody was. Of course, I know people were wondering like, well, where's Rampage? Well, that's on tomorrow night because TNT tonight has the Pelicans and Kings win and go home playoff game. So there you go. You can blame TNT for that.
Yeah, gum sports.
They
Anyway,
could have put it onto TBS. They're just trying to counter program TNA. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yep.
I actually don't know why they didn't at this point because it's not like Rampage is going to beat.
I mean, it's not like we've had the TBS championship defended on TNT, but again, Logic Wrestling Network.
But here,
To your point, though, James, you know, it's not like Rampage is going to beat TNA. Would you rather watch 3 hours of free wrestling going into a pay-per-view the following day, or pay whatever it's going to cost for TNA Rebellion? That's what you've got to look at most things.
Yeah, I would too.
I would just say this. Hold on, real quick.
Yep.
Here's the solution for that. You could always, I don't know. There's one other network you could put it on that's a part of the Warner Broadcasting Network, and I don't know, True TV. Just put Rampage there.
Yeah,
not hard.
I do.
Well.
I do got one question before Noah wraps it up here. I do got one question.
Go for it.
What are they gonna do with Collision? Because, like I said, the real playoffs start tomorrow. No, it's not gonna be on TNT yet. But what happens when it does go on TNT on Saturdays? Because Collisions is on Saturdays.
They're either going to. I imagine they're going to pre-record it and put it on a different day, like maybe Friday, or B, dare I say, like WrestleMania weekend, put it on afterwards, pre-recorded.
I don't know why they don't just move it off Saturdays entirely.
That's what somebody. You know what? That's what somebody else said. Like people like. Who's watching besides casual fans, who's watching it on Saturdays? Like put it on Thursdays or put it on Fridays or
what about Thursdays at 7 o'clock Eastern?
I mean, I'm the guy that watches. I'm the guy that watches.
Conflicts with TNA.
I'm the guy that watches wrestling 6 days a week. So I mean, I'm a different.
Oh no! I meant casual. I meant the people that go out on Saturdays. I'm not saying like casual. I know casual fans watch it, but
okay. So my thing is, it sucked on Saturday even when Punk was there. Just move the fucking day.
Yep.
Permanently. Who gives a shit?
Get rid of Rampage. Get rid of Rampage too.
You can you can even keep Rampage at its slot. I could give a fuck, right? But move Rampage to 6 o'clock. Now that JJ just told me that 6 o'clock Eastern. It's easy. It's easy. Is that a teaser? I don't even know.
I mean, this is what happens on the Fight Night shenanigans that just go off the rails and just turn into a conversation. And we just,
I feel like that's every podcast we do. That's every
podcast. That's a podcast.
At least I'm not the host of this one.
Yeah, JJ, how does it feel to be part of the chaos versus the one that deals with it?
About to grab my Becky Lynch book and turn it into Noah with his Mox book.
I still have to finish reading that, by the way, because I've been working so much anymore. I'm barely home anymore. Apologies, by the way, for leaderboard lack of updates. Now that I'm home the next week, thank Christ, I'll finally get things up and organized, though. Again, priorities for passions. Work's a bigger priority than professional wrestling. Professional wrestling don't pay me. It just literally helps me escape the world for a little bit.
By the way, to the people that are not here, Jeff, we hope that you're doing well with the move. And Rods, I know you probably enjoyed SmackDown because I saw things on Twitter that I will not be saying here because I know people haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I'll be watching it in about 20 minutes.
Let's go ahead and take this thing home because it's been a fun party, guys, but I'm East Coast. I'm ready to sleep ahead of this weekend that's going to kill my voice. James got more work to do. You got SmackDown to watch, and I'm sure you got sports to engage in too. And I think
I'm watching Canes Pelicans as we speak. So
I figured that. I'm just waiting for a live reaction Tourette from you. Easier said than done.
That's fun. That's fun.
And I didn't even mean to do that. That was just natural, not unintentional. But anyway.
No. The only thing that will make me pissed off is if we don't win. Is if the Celtics don't win the title after having the best record.
That's true.
Again,
that's true. Amen to that, brother.
Well, again, these two are from Boston, so that's out of my realm of knowledge. So,
yeah, we're wicked smart. Anyway, close us out, you pisser.
Fair enough. Happy birthday again to Big G. Please follow Big G on all the social medias. We look forward to you on Open Mic Night, Big Baller. Shout out to Walter Cruz. You saw him in the chat. Check out Mr. Reliable on YouTube at Rage of Wrestling, where he's collabed, I believe, with JJ on certain lists and other fun projects. And to continue to cover all the professional wrestling, damn it, this year. Of course, we got TNA, we got AEW, we got WWE, NXT, we got some NJPW also in the mix as well. So just keep along with us here, folks, right here in the Jet Media Network Multiverse of Media, as we keep you in tune with all things professional wrestling too, because we are mad men. And again, please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Come be part of Predictions League. You'll find links in the form in the description down below once the video concludes, as well as on my simple YouTube channel. If you wish to further follow and engage with me, follow me on the Twitter and on YouTube and Foster1916. All the same, simpler umbrella. For again, I only wish to encourage you to just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling too. For there are no winners, no losers, no betters. Just fans of opinions, this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too. Treasure your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. Damn it! It is truly as simple as that. Go check out the last AEW video impromptu where Eric pissed me off and it fell into chaos. And again, you'll find the entire playlist on my simple YouTube. Shout out to my friend Mary J. The key is to prove that Jay's worth more than gold across the pond. Cheers to you, my friend. Satilla's going to be there live, by the way, at TNA Rebellion. So please follow her at Raiders of Wrestling, whether it's wrestling time or not. Hope she has a safe time there at the Palms in Las Vegas. And again, Super Predicting is not letting up anytime soon. TNA Under Siege and WWE Backlash are next on the radar. NXT, of course, has Battleground. And the next time we talk about AEW will be Double or Nothing. But until then, I've taken enough time from all you fine folks that choose to watch this. And again, I appreciate all of you. And I've definitely taken more than enough time with this conversation and engagement with these fine folks, Ken, part of the Super Predicting community too. So thank you all for tuning in to another session. And until tomorrow, where we're freaking covering TNA Rebellion, let's freaking go and see if the Watermen can finally beat the system. Thank you all. Goodbye and good night. And as always, make a positive impact in life. And have a good night, folks. For we are not AEW. We are just fans of professional wrestling involving AEW to a degree, too. Have a good night, folks.
The Bucks are in danger.
What freaking hell? I don't know if that was Ralph from freaking Simpsons. Or
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Damn it, James. You freaking idiot. Have a good night, folks. We'll see you on the live watch all events starting tomorrow.
Oh, God.